O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Offense to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, we go. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Canesware at Miami Fanware in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at canesware.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Canesware, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. Enjoy Miami in speed and style. Only on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. Take advantage of special September Florida residence rate. Monday through Friday, you can book a tour on the biggest, baddest speedboat tour at 50% off. Must show Florida ID in order to get the discount. Tour special only available during September. Call 305-373-7001. That's 305-373-7001 to reserve your tickets on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right, good morning. Hope you all are hanging in there on a brutal Monday. Obviously, a brutal Monday where you got Marlins getting swept. Canes beat I don't even know what that school is. Do they even have a real football team? Are you sure they didn't beat like Bishop Sycamore, like number 2 or something on Saturday? And then, of course, watching the overtime loss to the Raiders. And it was one of those where it was kind of frustrating and watching this game. And look, man, I'm not here to walk any of you off the ledge. I'm not here to try to convince you to believe in Tua. I'm not here to convince you to like Chris Greer, to like Flo. I'm not here to convince you to like dual offensive coordinators. I'm not here to convince you to do any of that. Okay? The way you feel about the team, it's up to you, man. It's up to you. It's gotten to a point where, like, you get kind of tired of trying to fight the good fight, and you get tired of trying to talk about things that are going on with the team, and it sucked yesterday. I know they got into overtime, and I know it was a gritty little battle overall, but there's a lot of mistakes being made right now, and the only way people have a way of resolving things is to fire everybody, and I'm just not at that point where I think you need to make a whole bunch of changes, because in the end, that's the only way to satisfy the mob. And the mob wants it to be one way, and they have no answers for you, but the answer is to fire everybody in the process. And so I am going to do my show today, but I'm not doing a show here to try to convince you of who you should like, who you should root for, who you should believe in. You know, I just answered a text on the text line at 855-912-1056. And, you know, some guy goes, well, hey, your talk show host reputation is on the line because you believed in Tua and Flores and Greer. And I told him, well, then, you know, I guess don't bother ever listening again, because I guess I got no credibility. You know what I mean? That's the kind of mentality you're dealing with right now, and I know you can't win against that mentality. There's no way. What am I going to explain to the guy? Well, I didn't believe in Philbin, and I was right. I didn't believe in Sperano, and I was right. I didn't believe in Wannstedt, and I was right. So all the other times that I was right, but maybe this time I might be wrong, and I'm not wrong either, because I'm not ready to give up on people. See, the problem with everything that's going on here is I'm not where some of you are at right now. Austin Jackson is still in his second year, and he's going on to his fourth game in his second year. I can't give up on somebody that early. Tua's barely played any football. He's played 10 games. Now, if he goes out there and gets injured again, that's where I'm kind of done with him, because it's not so much about his play, it's about his durability. And the guy doesn't have the offense. I'm watching some quarterbacks back there take a step, a couple steps back, and they can stand there for a couple of seconds and scan the field, something I haven't seen Tua be able to do because he's running for his life behind this offensive line. But again, where I pick on the front office and Brian Flores because he's part of the personnel decisions, they decided to put all those young guys up front. They screwed up. And yesterday, watching that game, I was wrong about Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett is terrible. They were in competition in that game in spite of him. See, where I can't compete with the mob mentality is, hey, that safety. Well, how do you call that? Who the hell said they called that? And Jacoby Brissett, after the game, said, that's my bad decision. Yeah, you damn right it's your bad decision. And one of the things that I am going to pick on Flores, I am going to pick on Chris Greer for is, what the fuck did you get Jacoby Brissett if you're not going to trust him? Why do you think they ran it inside the 5 that many times? And then they finally rushed it in because they don't trust his ass to throw the ball. Why do you think they went for the 50-yard field goal to tie the game? Because you have no trust for Jacoby Brissett. So whatever he's done behind the scenes in practice, they must have made them cringe. A couple weeks ago, he throws a terrible interception coming in for Tua. Yesterday, he throws that brain fart in the end zone. That tells me that during practice, there's all kinds of brain farts by Jacoby Brissett, and they're looking at each other going, oh, crap. We effed up. Because they effed up. They effed up in Jacoby Brissett is worse than I thought he was. I told you guys that I'm not a Jacoby Brissett guy. He's just a Jag. But I figured as a Jag, if he at least can do the things he did in Indianapolis, just manage the game, you'll be all right. But while I'm watching your decisions during the game, you already told me what you feel about him. They have zero confidence in Jacoby Brissett. I mean, zero. And I don't blame them. When you do that, what he did in the end zone, which was incredibly stupid. Look, dude, he's a nice guy. He's delusional. He stands there on the podium and talks about his confidence and I'm a starter and all that. I've seen this. I've seen that story. What's the name of that kid that was at Florida State and the Jets drafted him and he was a bust and he's bounced around a little bit. I forgot his name now, but they took him in the second round and he was bad, but he was another one of those guys. Really nice guy, all that, but had this what would I call, it was like empty confidence and empty on our end. Now, he may have thought he had confidence and he said all the right things, but he, you looked at him and it's like, yeah, no, I don't believe you. And that's Jacoby Brissett. me see anybody get who it is. Anyway, Emmanuel, that's who it is. Something like Emmanuel. The guy's name was something like Emmanuel. I don't know if anybody. No, not Charlie Ward, dude. Don't insult Charlie Ward, dude. Okay, Charlie Ward's a good football player. I forgot the guy's name. Something like E.J. Manuel. That's it. E.J. Manuel. Thank you. That's the dude. That dude had the same thing. He would carry himself. He'd talk about himself like he was a star, and he wasn't even close to being a star. This is Jacoby Brissett. He talks about himself like he's some kind of franchise quarterback. He's nowhere near it. I mean, nowhere near it. They were in that game yesterday in spite of Jacoby Brissett. I don't care that he made a couple of throws. They told me throughout the game what they feel about him. I already know what I feel about him as it is, which I don't know what they thought and why they signed him, but that was a terrible move. And they've got a bunch of terrible moves on their hands right now, and they've got to find a way of correcting this issue. And I'm not saying that the line, all of them are terrible moves. I'm saying the terrible move of putting too many young people on the line. That was an enormous mistake, and one that has resulted in setting this team back this season. That's just the bottom line. And that money you have next year, well, you're going to have to try to find a couple of veteran offensive linemen that are quality offensive linemen so you can bring some balance to that team. But again, I'm not here to try to convince you. You have your mob mentality. You want to fire everybody. You want to assume that the offensive coordinators, they didn't pick this line. They didn't decide. That was Flores and Greer that decided to go really young on the offensive line. And they effed up and ruined everything. You can't evaluate your quarterback. You picked a really bad backup quarterback. Now you've got to fix this issue. And this is part of being young. This is why I told you that I'm not going to be quick on changing, because I saw what happened in the past. And other young GMs that we had here made mistakes, but we didn't allow them to try to correct them. We just piled on and then got rid of them. And then they went on to actually do better in other places. And I think these guys have done some good things, but they've got to also be given time. It's only 2 years, man. We just started year 3. And I'm not ready to say that all of these draft picks have failed, because it doesn't make any sense if they don't have the proper foundation at the moment to go out and shine like the quarterback. You can't do it. If one young lineman's next to another young lineman, it's going to take them forever to kind of figure this out. It's not going to happen nearly as quickly as if there was only 2 or 3 young linemen along with 2 or 3 proven veterans. That would be a lot better. That would be a lot easier. But that's not the case here. You went down a path that really nobody ever does go down. Nobody ever puts that many young people on the line. And they chose to do that, and now they're paying the price. But yeah, yesterday was frustrating as hell. I was frustrated even more watching, what was going on offense. Yeah, defense gave up some big plays, and they needed to play better. Special teams they covered well. They just didn't have any big returns. There are some bright spots. Darren Waller wasn't the pain in the ass that we kind of expected, but other guys ended up making plays in the process. It was a frustrating game all around. It's really hard to feel good about the team it's really hard to feel good about this season right now, the way they're playing. Now, you win this week against the Colts, and you're 2-2. You're going to be 2-3, obviously, with the Tampa loss. But if you can get Tua back, you just never know what the rest of the season holds. Now, you've got, in order for the rest of the season to actually mean something, that line is going to have to improve. And I don't know how you improve it right now at this point. One guy was telling me, oh, well, maybe they should trade. You trade now, you're going to be giving up so much to get little in return that it's not worth it. And there's no quarterback that you can trade for that's going to save your season. That's not available either. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get out of the rut that they're in right now. They've put themselves in this corner, but everything was going well up until this point. And the second that there is adversity, you got, again, mob mentality. You guys want to jump ship. There's no way of staying trying to at least give them an opportunity to fix this. So it all depends on how you feel about this. I'm not ready to fire people. I'm not ready to make a whole bunch of changes. But I also didn't expect a rookie GM and a rookie coach to take over and make every right decision and it goes smoothly. In a perfect world, I would love that. I mean, hell, they tore it down, and in their second year, they won 10 games. And now we're thinking playoffs. They were on a trajectory that was, you know what the Dolphins are right now? They're a crypto stock that went parabolic and went to 10 games last year. And now it's a consolidation period. And they've taken a couple steps back, and it's like, no, you're not that good, not yet. You need to slow it way down. You need to have a little bit more adversity and consolidate a little bit more before you start making another climb up. Because it was almost unrealistic that you tore it all down. You still won 5 games, which I still don't know how they won. And then they get to 10 games, and now we're thinking playoffs, and now they're obviously going to feel or going to take a step back from last season. So in a way, we're kind of coming back a little bit to reality, but the mob is not going to feel that way. The mob wants the unrealistic, which is tear down 10 games, let's go to the playoffs, and let's go to, higher highs. And not the reality. Not the reality. But the first sense of adversity, and now everybody wants to fire, and I'm just not there, folks. Maybe I've gotten a little more patient when I'm older, which I don't believe so, because I feel different about the University of Miami football program, obviously. So I'm not, you can say what you want, because one guy also said the same thing. Oh, well, maybe you're getting softer as you get older. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. But then again, I'm full of piss and vinegar for the University of Miami football program and where they're at. What are we going to do? Watching the offense yesterday was like eating a piece of cardboard for 3 quarters. I agree. He says, we're obviously watching a different team. Suno Patel says, Big O, you're talking about Doge, LOL. Karen says, Miami did a good job of limiting their best players the last 2 weeks in Allen and Waller, so that's something to build off of. Throw the baby in the pool and see if it swims. Richard says, the team still has a quarterback problem. We could have addressed it a year ago. We picked the wrong guy. That's frustrating. I know Herbert won yesterday, played well, obviously. Although Kansas City did kind of hand them the game, but he played well and they won. And I know that he looks great right now, but I still don't believe that he's arrived. I know he looks great. I still don't believe that Tua is a failure. That's the problem here, that everybody's made an assumption. You know what I mean? The kid in New England was the next Tom Brady, and now everybody's coming back to earth now. And I'm not saying that he's going to, and I wasn't a Mac Jones guy, but Mac Jones is not a failure. He's not a success either, but he's not a failure. It's only a couple of games. I need to see a lot more before I see. The problem is I've watched RG3 tear it up and then done. I've watched guys have good years. I've watched Derek Anderson light it up, and then they give him a big contract, and then he dies out. I've watched guys have success and then not be able to really, you know what I mean, take it to the next level. And because of the situation they're in. But I also see, Herbert stand back there for a couple of seconds and nobody touching him. You know what I mean? A lot of quarterbacks would play better that way too. But the facts never matter here. It's the perception. That's all it is. And that's the problem. And I, again, can't fight that. Can't fight that. You guys, if you're full of rage, that's not going to change today. Dougie Fresh, thank you, sir, coming in on the super chat. My Finns, Limerick, Jacoba says he's a starting caliber, but his play can be clocked with a calendar. Our fat O-line plays thin. The refs were a sin, while Waddle drops balls like an amateur. Yep, and he's going to start losing some of those fumbles. Jalen Water better start hanging on to the football. He is dropping the ball way too much, dude. Way too much. Greer is not a rookie GM. He had that role for a few years. No, he didn't, Tony. He wasn't in total control, Tony. So stop with that. Again, I can't fix the mob mentality. The mob mentality wants to think that he was in control in the years prior, and he wasn't. Tannenbaum and Gase had way more power than him, and they were overriding him for many decisions. He has been fully in charge for now going on 3 years. Those are the facts, but you can create whatever you want, bro. Whatever, just like all of you out there. Why is the offensive coordinator calling that bubble screen over there in the end zone? You guys will make that up. And then in the end, the quarterback said, that was my mistake. That was a dumb play or whatever he said, which was incredibly stupid. And anybody knows that when you run that play, this is how stupid it was by Brissett. When you run that play, it's the second you get the snap, you throw. You don't look. You don't take another step back like Brissett's slow molasses ass did, because he did not. Go watch it again. It's on my Twitter feed. I tried to explain it to people. It shows you how dumb it is. He had no business doing that. He has to know that by looking and taking a step back after you're already in shotgun, you now telegraphed it to the DB. But again, the mob is going to say, oh, no, those are the OCs. That's not working. And the running inside the 5 and the Wildcat, that tells me Flo told them, don't put the ball in his hands. And they only threw towards the end, and they made a couple plays. Do you know why? Because they were trailing, and they had to. They had no choice. But if it was within the game, they would have kept him conservative because they have zero trust in him. And that does fall on Flores and Greer. You signed a quarterback that you have no faith in. Now, after watching him play, I can see why you have no faith in him. That terrible interception a couple weeks ago and that brain fart of a stupid-ass play in your own end zone, yeah, you know what? I wouldn't trust Jacoby Brissett either. But again, you guys are going to make up whatever you want. Whatever you want to make up, whatever lie you want to feed yourself, go ahead and feed yourself. Chris Greer was in charge for the last 10 years. That's all. He was pulling the strings of everything. Of course. Every decision was his decision. So the Dolphins have been the Dolphins for years because of Chris Greer. He just rigged it now to get the job at this point. That's it. The fan base was ready to give up on Tua after the first 5 games. I hate this fan base. It's funny because most of the people that are giving up on Tua are the same people that wanted to tank for Tua. Are the same people that didn't really want Justin Herbert. But now Justin Herbert looks good. So now, okay, no, I wanted Justin Herbert. They made the wrong decision. Leon Fresco says, hear me out. I know you don't want to quit on Jackson, but I think we need to try a line from left to right of Eichenberg, Davis, Dieter, Hunt, Jones, and Hunt. Hey, man, whatever floats your boat. You know, at this point, you can try whatever. Actually, Jackson's better game was yesterday. He actually had some moments. I've never seen him drive somebody into the ground. He drove somebody into the ground yesterday. I was like, holy crap. Now he had a couple, key penalties and all that. He was far from clean, but actually he played his best game yesterday. Let's see. When Big O declares someone isn't good, it doesn't matter what he does. He will never give the person any credit. You mean like Josh Allen? When I didn't like Josh Allen coming out of school and I saw him in the Senior Bowl and throwing it all over the place. And I said, wow, that kid, yeah, he's got a cannon, but he has no idea what he's doing. And then he was a disaster his first year. And now he's become a heck of a quarterback. And I've said, I was dead wrong about him. Yeah, no, you're right. No, you're right. I've just seen Josh Allen do things that I haven't seen Ryan Tannehill yet do. That's the difference. That's the part I guess you don't want to understand. I guess that's why you're saying it. You want me to give Tannehill credit when he doesn't carry jack shit. It's all Derrick Henry. I've watched Josh Allen win games. That's the difference. I've watched him under chaos overcome. I've never seen Ryan Tannehill do that once. Not once. But, whatever, bro. Spit again. You're going to see and hear whatever you want, my man. That's all. You're going to see and hear whatever you want. Right? I never give anybody credit that I don't like. Well, there you go. I didn't like Josh Allen. But, you can make up whatever you want, dude. You can create whatever accuracy you want. You and Trump together will create whatever you want. Right? The Arizona stuff, they were cheating, right? No. How many times have they gone over that vote? And they found out that it was clean, right? There you go. But go ahead. Convince yourself of whatever you want. So pull the Trump move, dude. It's all good. That works for some people. No matter what, the truth is the truth, but they don't want to believe the truth. But go ahead. I won't give anybody credit, and I won't admit when I'm wrong. That's fine. When you see Ryan Tannehill play like Josh Allen, please remind me. Show it to me. Dolphins are cursed at QB. Dolphins keep making the wrong moves at QB, like bringing Brissett and need to draft a QB every year till they hit. Yeah, they should now at this point. Big O, GMs get paid millions to evaluate talent. In the end, no one can deny Tua's body of work was better than Herbert's in college, but his frame was indeed questionable. Well, I'm with you there, and that's the only thing that I've always said about Tua that I didn't like, that his durability needs to be questioned. Yes, that I was with you 100%. Big O, I really like Tua and confident he can make it, but I'm glad you realize Herbert looks and plays better than Tua now. You can say he doesn't have quality wins yet, in that game. But he did get a quality win this week against KC. So Richard says, why don't you be honest, Big O? Would you have taken Herbert over Tua? Well, do you want me to be honest? Honest? I wouldn't have taken a quarterback. I mean, if you want me to be honest, I wouldn't have taken a quarterback if it was really up to me. I'm still taking Tua over Herbert at that point. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm still taking Tua over Herbert. Now, the difference is I would have built a real line in front of him. You know, if I killed the Indianapolis Colts for years for allowing Luck to get killed, why would I be happy about the Dolphins putting 4 rookies and a journeyman in front of Tua? Think about that one. Why would I be happy about that? You know, I let it slide because, hey, man, you know, this is their plan. You give them the benefit of the doubt. They think the young guys are going to turn the corner, obviously. They must have had a high opinion of these young guys, and it has not panned out so far. And it got your often injured quarterback injured again. So if you really want to know what I would have done, I would have picked a quarterback at that point. That's what I would have done. Okay? But that's just me. It's probably what I would have done. But I'm not going to tell you. And again, I'm not going to go here and say any of these young quarterbacks have arrived. I need to see them under some real fire. And we'll see, you know, we'll find out more with all of these guys. Herbert and Wilson and Tua and Tua will get a. Now, I will say this. When Tua comes back, if there's another injury, I will be taking a different turn with Tua. That's all I can tell you. Big O, the Dolphin fans didn't know Stephen Ross sits in and watches all scouts and GMs make their moves and mistakes and making the best decision. Was Greer most suggestions were good? Obviously, that's why each regime kept him around. They're not going to keep a guy around that writes bad reports. This is why we needed to take Sewell over Waddle. Hitchens Music says, agree, taking a lineman would have been the best move instead of a QB, especially after the hip injury. I thought we all agreed as fans that our guy would be someone who carries us and overcomes bad O-line play. You can't overcome bad O-line play, dude. You can overcome an injury on the O-line, and you can play on your second and third tackles, and you can play on your second and third string guards, but you can't have bad play along the entire O-line. That's why the morons that think, oh, let's trade for Watson. Watson behind this line gets killed. Aaron Rodgers behind this line gets killed. You can't go acquire a quarterback and keep the same line. That's insanity. You're not going to get any different results. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Watch, as much as all of you have fallen in love with Herbert, watch it when he drops back. The guy has plenty of time to throw. Not in Miami, whether it's Tua or Brissett or Fitzpatrick, you're running for your life, dude. You can't do that. And those guys will get killed here, man. Oh, you were right when you told me you saw all you needed with Brissett was in an Indy. I don't see the guy around him respond with energy to his veteran leadership the way they did when Fitz was in, because Ohio, John, they know he's just a jag. Nice guy and all that, and I get it, man. Brissett's a really nice guy. Great kid, man, or a great young man, because he's a little older now. But Brissett is just a jag. He's nothing. And he's slow. You can tell. He's a guy, he can't throw one pass with anticipation. every pass has to be after the break is made because he's got a big arm, so he can do that. But there is nothing when it comes to anticipation or anything like that. All right, let's take an incredibly quick break because Omar Kelly is ready for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
There he is. He is ready to go, locked and loaded on a beautiful Monday. Not on the football side, but it is a beautiful Monday because the good Lord allows us to enjoy another day on this earth. How you doing? Oh, you hanging in there?
Yeah, man. I feel blessed despite what's happening in the football world. I'm blessed. My wife this morning, just to give you a scope of what life is like, my wife this morning driving to work, somebody on I-95 at the 6:30 hour. I don't know. They must have had some sort of emergency, but they swerved out of the emergency lane and crossed 4 lanes and had an accident and literally ended up right next to my wife. Wow. And took out 2 cars. That's just God's favor, and I'm blessed and thankful that she wasn't involved in it. But you know, this happens to people every day. You're not guaranteed to wake up, and you're not guaranteed to have a heart attack when you're in a car.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm lucky. You got to learn to be thankful for the little things.
Yeah. When you hear those kind of things, you can tell it's somebody that had some kind of a medical condition right away, because those are those odd crashes. You know what I mean? It's like, well, once you hear it, like, oh, it went right through the window pane of a business, and you're like, okay, that poor person must have had, you know, something happened to them at that moment, and hopefully everything will work out. The good thing is they didn't hit your wife, so that's definitely a good thing, my brother. All right, so we're waking up on a Monday where everybody wants everybody fired, and wants to replace everybody, or trade for Watson, because of course Watson behind this offensive line would answer everything. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, that's the other thinking. Some guy sent me a text. He goes, I thought the idea was to get a quarterback that could play even behind, you know, bad O-lines. And I'm like, there's no quarterback that's going to play behind this O-line. You know, you can be missing your second or third tackle on one side, that you're on your second or third string tackle. Or you can't play with 4 young guys that are completely lost, and they're all trying to figure this out at the same level. That is so hard for any quarterback to play behind that.
I don't disagree with you, but I didn't think they were the problem yesterday.
That's the weird part, right? This was probably their better game out of the 3.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is, you know, they weren't horrible. Now, we've seen horrible. We know what horrible looks like. They weren't horrible. You know, when your team is converting 3 of 18 on third downs, you know, that might not be your offensive line. You know, when your team is rushing for what they rush for, like 130 something.
They did pretty good.
Yeah, at 133. That's pretty damn good. That's not just, you know, sacks. What did they give up? 2 sacks? I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. 133 and 2 sacks. I'll take that every day. I'll take that every single Sunday. So, I mean, and you know, I'm a critic of the offensive line. If this is the performance that they're going to give you every single Sunday, sign me up. Absolutely sign me up.
Boy, the bar's low.
I mean, I have covered the Dolphins for 2 decades. I mean, for 14 years, 2 good offensive lines since probably about 3 good offensive lines since 2000. But yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, we gotta look it up. I'll look it up later. How many units gave 133 rushing yards and 2 sacks? I might say 10 in the NFL, and the majority of them probably won their games.
And two good pass rushers. Doesn't mean everybody has two good pass rushers that you're facing. They were facing two good pass rushers on that team yesterday. Are you at the point you've given up on all these people? Because I'm still not ready to give up on the line.
Which people? You got to be more specific.
I'm talking about the draft picks that are all being questioned right now, from
Tua
to the O line. Not just Austin, the O line. I mean, we don't hear Robert Hunt's name that much, but people are complaining about the O line not being good enough. That all these picks are a disaster. And I haven't seen enough football, and I don't think it's fair to say anybody that's even playing well has arrived, or anybody that's playing poorly is a failure. I'm just not ready yet when you've only played a year of football.
I think the only person that I will give a satisfactory grade for on that team, performance-wise, is Xavier Howard. And even he can play better because he's allowed 2 touchdowns this season. But I know who Xavier is. I'm sorry, he's going to allow touchdowns. It is the nature of how he plays. He takes risks, and he wins, he loses. Everybody else, I can't, everybody else can play better. And even Xavier can play better. Everybody else can coach better. I would say I'm just as critical on the coaching that I'm seeing as I am the general manager's performance or the player's execution. There's nothing that's going right so far. I mean, you're lucky and fortunate Xavier Howard forced the fumble and recovered it to have 1 win. Otherwise, you'd be 0-3. And people looking to take moral victories from the fact that they came from behind after giving up 14 points, that's a loser's mentality. You should have taken care of business. You were up 14-0, put your foot on the neck. That wasn't what you did. You let them back in the game.
Well, one of the problems that I have in that game is you end up signing a quarterback that you have zero confidence in, because you're inside the 5. Brissett.
Okay, Jacob, you're saying.
Yeah, because you're inside the 5 and you keep running wildcats. And even with him, you didn't even put him to pass it. You had him run it in. You end up settling for the 50-yard field goal because you don't have the cojones to go with the. Now, he threw a terrible interception a couple of weeks ago. And then yesterday, that brain fart of a throw that he had in his own end zone, that play, and
that had to be a QB read option. That had to be a QB read option. He just made the wrong read.
That play, the way I explained it on the video when I posted it, is the second it's snapped to you, you throw right away. You don't look and take a step back. And that's what he did. He took the ball, he took a step back to look and then throw. By that time, he already told the DB what he's doing. That's why that play never worked. If you're going to run that play, it has to be you don't move.
You don't run that play.
I know you don't.
You don't run that play.
I know, but if you're going to do it,
you don't run that play.
I get that, but because
whether you took a snap and threw it immediately, even with Jalen Waddle, you don't run that play.
You get out of the end zone.
You run, you get an extra yard, and then you run that play.
I get that, but that's not my point. My point is that if you're going to make that throw because the DB's off, because Jalen Waddle's fast and you're afraid of him getting behind you, I get it. But if you're going to make that play, Brissett has to be a lot smarter about it and know that the second he hesitated, the play was dead already.
Let me ask you a question, and let me play devil's advocate here. When the hell have you seen them run that play in the first 3 games? The quick screen to Waddle. Well, you haven't. You haven't. So why are you running it in the end zone?
Well, obviously,
that's the definition of moronic.
That's what I'm telling you about the quarterback. Whether
I mean, the quarterback. He said that's on me. My bad. I shouldn't have made that read and made that throw.
Right.
But why, as the offensive coordinator, are you even calling that play in that situation?
He didn't call that play. That obviously was a brain
fart. No. The play was designed for that to be an option. You took that. The quarterback took that option. That
That's a brain fart on him, dude.
That's a brain fart on everybody.
No, that's a brain
why
fart
is that in your backed-in package? If you have a backed-in package, and everybody should have a backed-in package, if you don't have a backed-in package, you should be fired. But if that's your backed-in package, why the hell is that play number one?
Well, this is why I'm telling you, when you watch the other plays in the game and they don't trust him, that go back to that and go back to the other interception he threw a couple weeks ago that was like 8 hours late. And why? Because he is slow as molasses, bro. He is slow. He reads it, but he computes it slow as shit.
He's not the problem. He's not the reason you're going to win games.
He's a problem. He's a problem.
He's a backup quarterback. He's a backup quarterback.
In spite of him. They were in that game in spite
of him. They were in that game because of him. He doesn't scramble for that 18 yards and get them in position to throw that. He gets the PI. He throws the pass to Gesicki on 4th down.
I know he made a couple of plays.
Without him, they're not even in the game.
Yeah, well, there's you give him 50 throws, dude. The sun's gonna shine on some dog's ass.
You can give Josh Rosen 50 throws. He ain't doing.
You gave him 50 effing throws.
You can give Josh Rosen 50 throws. He ain't doing shit with it.
But that's another level of shittiness. You're just going to another level. That's all.
I mean, when I'm factoring in shittiness, like Jacoby's okay. He ain't Brock Osweiler. Like Brock Osweiler is my level of shittiness.
Well, yeah, I get that. I get
this
that.
team won games with Brock.
At White and Rosen.
I'm just talking about guys who started games.
Low. I get all that crap, but it's still, it's just you signed the guy. It's the guy that you have no confidence in. Why did you sign him?
If I'm putting the list, and I used to do this, and I probably need to get back at it. I usually go like a top 3 list of people or things that you need to blame on that loss. Jacoby isn't in the top 5 because without him, he's not even in that game.
No, you're right. He's not, because I gotta blame personnel and the coach for actually signing him, because why the hell would you have somebody on the roster you don't trust?
What backup QB you prefer? Give me your backup QB of choice. Because
Patrick.
He's a starter. He's an NFL starter, so that doesn't count. He's an NFL starter that made $10 million this season, even though he suffered a hip injury. So that doesn't count. Now, if you want to debate that he should be the starting quarterback, I'll entertain that conversation. Because
no, I don't want him as a starter. But
what backup?
Bring him back for a backup
did you want? Like, if you want to go and say, oh, they should have traded for Brissett, Teddy Bridgewater, and had them compete, or they should have gotten Matt Stafford, or we can entertain those conversations.
That's a start.
I can't. Yeah, no. I'm just saying, in terms of decisions that were made, that would have been a better situation for Sunday. I could have those conversations, but I really can't think of a better backup quarterback than Jacoby. He's not phenomenal, but he's not bad. Now, should he be throwing 50 times a game? No.
Especially on a day you actually ran the ball some.
Yeah.
Which I would have liked to have seen them run the ball a little bit more. Except in certain situations, like
this window of 3 games, you should be fixing your O-line and running the ball. Win or loss.
I agree.
Fix the O-line and run the ball. But they could have walked away with an overtime. They could have walked away with an overtime tie. Let's put the blame where it belongs. The defense. Like, they shit the bed at the end of the game. And yeah, you could say make excuses for them after excuses. Oh, they're tired, or is a bad match.
No, I don't care about that. You got to find a way to make a play. You got to find a way to make.
You got to find a way to make a play. They didn't, and that's the strength of their team. So they got to take that loss on the chin. That the offense will be responsible for plenty of losses, but that's on you.
Do you get when do you guys get the coordinators? Is that today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Well, I'm going to be interested to see.
They don't discuss anything that happened in the last game, which is just moronic.
Oh, they've moved on.
They've moved on. Yeah, like and so you could sit there and you could want to dissect, like, what the bleep were you thinking in this situation, they'll be like, "Oh, we've moved on to the next game," and like you're like,
especially if it was really Jacoby's fault, they're not going to want to bury the kid.
Yeah.
So they're instead of piling on, they're going to say, "Oh, we moved on."
Jacoby fell on the sword. He's like, "That was dumb. It was on me. I take total responsibility for it. I shouldn't have done that in any and even if it was played, you should have called. Even if it was called, you should have said, "No, that's not what we're doing."
Right.
That's just dumb.
Yeah.
Like there's nobody in the league who looked at that play and said, that's a smart play. That might have worked if no, everybody would say that's dumb. That's dumb.
Yeah.
You don't call that play. You don't call that play on the half a yard line.
If anything, that should have been a fake where you faked it to there and then went somewhere else.
Then hand it off. If that happened, you faked it to a quick hitch and then handed it off to Myles Gaskin or whoever. I'd be like, all right, I could buy that. But
right.
That play was just dumb. Like there's no, and in hindsight, and that's the thing. There are too many, and I wrote this column in the Sun Sentinel. There have been too many plays, and I'm about giving Godsey and Stuttsville their chance, their opportunity. I don't want to sit there and say, well, Godsey's going to be a horrible OC because of what he did in Houston. He wasn't really the full play caller in Houston. That the head coach had play calling power and authority. He prepared the team for the week. And he had 2 playoff teams and got fired because of Brock. He couldn't help the Brock Osweiler become a good quarterback. Like, yeah,
this whole dual OC thing. Here's where there's a hole in people's arguments. Didn't they run the ball yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess half the coordinators did well.
Hey, if you want
I'm sorry. Because this whole dual OC thing ain't working, right?
I 1,000% agree with you. One guy's responsible for the run game, one guy's responsible for the pass game. That's where I will assign blame. And if you want to say Stuttsville used to be calling plays right now from this point, I'd be like, all right, I don't disagree with you.
But that's not the point. The point is maybe they just called the game that they could only call. That's my problem. I'm wondering if the coach also put a little bit of kibosh on them and said, yeah, in these key situations, take the ball out of Brissett's hands. You know what I mean? Because it was an indictment that you're inside the 5 and you refuse to throw the ball. It's an indictment where you have a chance to win the game.
But hold on.
Settling for a tie.
Hold on.
Go for it.
Let me just say this, and I wrote this in my column. The person who taught me not to question play calling on a consistent basis was Bobby Bowden, because he said there are so many different things and studies and circumstances and things that go into our decision making, and unfortunately for us, you can question play calling because you know the end result. Miami might have saw something with their defensive tackles, and they don't have great defensive tackles, in film that said, hey, these Wildcat runs are going to work. And in fairness to them, their Wildcat plays are their best goal line plays, which is why they keep in practice, which is why they keep calling it. Okay?
Right.
Now, put that to the side. Yes, they have to be committed to it to run it 2 straight times. The execution probably was the issue as opposed to the play call. Now, do I like the play call? No, but we should not get in the habit of questioning play calls because we don't know all that goes into it, what they've studied versus versus the Raiders, what analytics say, what their success rate in the Wildcat package in practice has been.
Now, wait a minute, but I'm not questioning the play calling. I'm just questioning the obvious
because they don't trust Brissett.
Yeah, because there was 2 different scenarios. You're inside the 5.
They didn't trust Tua either. They didn't Wildcat with Tua in the goal line.
Well, that's fine. They didn't trust him. That's
they
fine.
Might feel like that's their best package.
But on a quarterback sneak, I'd rather have Brissett than Tua. That's a different decision. But what I'm saying is, when you're going for the field goal, and you could have gone for the win. You know what I mean? You got nothing else to lose.
Oh,
and you. What? What do you mean? What? You don't think so?
You would have went for the win instead of.
Yeah, instead of going for the field goal for the tie, you go for 4th down and you try to keep that drive alive. and you go for 7 eventually. Well, I mean, if you have a quarterback that you can count on, you will go for
nothing's going your way as a team. Like take the field goal and hope Oakland shoots himself in the foot and Xavier puts on a cape and saves your ass. Like don't play hero. Don't like who on your team is a hero other than Xavier? You gonna play hero?
That's my point. Since you don't have somebody that you can rely on as a hero, this is what ends up happening.
Yeah, which is why you should kick the field goal and hope Derek Carr, plays hero ball and shoots himself in the foot. Like that pass that Derek Carr threw that basically got them in scoring territory before the big run. That could have easily been a turnover. No,
the big run is what got him in scoring
territory.
Yeah,
but that got him to the 50. Like,
okay. And as I told you yesterday, and as I told you last night, X had the chance to make the tackle on that big run. Him and Jalen Phillips, and they both whiffed on that tackle, and then he went for 27 yards on that run. So that was X had a chance to save the day there, and did not.
They were moving, they were driving, they were going to get. Derek Carr is a pretty good fourth quarter quarterback.
He's a good quarterback, bro. He's a good quarterback.
And the way he's performed and the way he's matured, and people will piss all over the Raiders' 3-0 start, and that's fair and that's fine. But Derek Carr is more than a capable starting quarterback in the NFL.
You can easily. It's the same crap that goes on with Garoppolo. When people talk shit about Garoppolo, you can win with Garoppolo. The problem with Garoppolo is he doesn't stay healthy. But it's almost they make both the same. They make it sound like, oh no, Garoppolo can't get it done. No, Garoppolo can get it done. He can play. Last night he put his team in victory mode. It's just obviously another great quarterback grabs the ball and takes it downfield. He did his job. His problem is health.
Man, wouldn't it be great to have one of those quarterbacks?
I'm with you on Derek Carr. Derek Carr's also had some health issues. But Derek, you can win a Super Bowl with either one of those guys.
Wouldn't it be great to have a quarterback who does what Aaron Rodgers does?
Oh, Jesus. Well, we had one years ago.
But
all the time. All the damn time. I mean, he retired with the most fourth quarter comebacks. When you don't have a defense and a running game, you were forced to do those kind of things all the time. Marino used to do that all the time. It was like, oh, he's got 50 seconds. Plenty of time. That's how spoiled we were with Marino.
Yeah.
A minute 10. Oh, dude, Dan's got plenty of time to drive him downfield. Sure enough, bop, 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 touchdown. Sure enough. Always. Now, if the great quarterback got it back like Aaron Rodgers on the other side, Dan would watch his defense give up the other score, and then that's how he would lose. Richard Todd would do it, or somebody else would do it, and you're like, holy shit, damn it, bro. Dan set us up, and boom, it's the defense giving it up. That's what happened a lot of times, which is sad. And imagine how many more fourth quarter comebacks he would have had if the defense actually could have held some of those after some of the drives that he put them in the lead, which was disturbing. All right, so then do you expect any more changes on the offensive line? Because Austin Jackson actually had some positive moments, and then he had some negative moments too.
Why change? Why change now? Like, okay. What else are you gonna do? Your top 5 are actually playing. Greg Little hasn't even been active for a game. Maybe I changed my center. Like, but what's the upside there?
He hasn't been bad. He hasn't been the problem.
Well, I mean, if we're going to talk about Flo's philosophy of starting the top 5 guys, I think now your 5th guy is Dieter. So, if somebody's going to unseat Dieter, okay. But I mean, I don't like Liam was the weak link yesterday. He's a rookie. He played, he played. He made mistakes. He learned from it. Right. As I said, until you get to the Jacksonville game, win or loss, this stretch is about stop being a bitch ass team and learn how to run the football, learn how to stop the run so you can stop being a bitch ass team, get after the quarterback and solidify your offensive line. Like, start focusing on winning in the trenches, because until you stop being a bitch ass team, this stuff is gonna happen. This isn't a quarterback's problem. This isn't Jacoby Brissett problem. This is, you're a bitch ass team and have always been a bitch ass team. You can't stop the run and you can't run the football. Like, for me, you can't protect the quarterback. That's that's the starch, the mashed potatoes and gravy for your meal. That's what's gonna fill you up. We can sit here and want lobster and sea bass, and we're gonna walk away hungry because we don't have any starch in the meal. Like, get some starch, man. Get something that's gonna fill you up. Take the pressure off everybody. Even when Tua comes back, how good is he without an offensive line and a running game? He's gonna be the same quarterback. He's gonna be hurt. He's gonna get hurt again. He's gonna have all the pressure on him. That's why I was like, they got to get Najee Harris. And I know he's not doing great out there, but you know what he can do? He can pass protect and he can run that 4-minute offense. You know, I like Myles Gaskin, but can he be an every down back? No. Now your lead back is Malcolm Brown. Great. Nobody else wants him to be their lead back in the NFL, but that's your lead back. Okay.
Yeah, they have not invested heavily at that position. They have gone half-ass at that position.
Perfect. And I get it why they did it, but you had 2 shots and 2 drafts to select the running back, and it wasn't the priority.
Yeah, their bigger problem really still is the O-line, because even the running backs that they have would be serviceable if they actually had a really good line overall, and that's. But see,
and the O-line is just players that they.
You're talking about Eichenberg. He's 3 games into his career. Yeah. I can't judge that kid. I have a hard time judging any of these guys.
Austin Jackson might be 12 games into his career. Austin Jackson might be 12 games into. I mean, might be up 16 games into his career.
Yeah, so, it's not a lot of time for these guys to develop. That's my problem with all of this, and that's why I'm not quick on giving up, especially on the O-line, because sometimes O-linemen take a while, and none of those guys were picked top 5, top 8, or whatever.
Let's be real. Austin Jackson didn't deserve to be a first-round pick. Let's be real about it. You reached to get what you needed, and there's nothing wrong with it. You did that with Eichenberg when you felt like you needed to trade up to go get him because you didn't want to reach. I respect that. The problem I have is talent evaluation. And you looked at all the personnel. In my mind, when I watched the first week of training camp, the first practice in pads that they had, the first couple of practice in pads that they had, and I watched how they got bitch slapped, and then they took it to Chicago, and I watched how they got bitch slapped again. I said to myself, yeah, this ain't it. This ain't it. This is not going to be good enough. And nothing has changed my mind still. And when you saw that, you should have done something. And they did make 2 trades, but one guy can't be active and the other guy is just a backup. So what can you do more? And there is more that you can do to do something to fix it or patch it. You can go out there and get a veteran. The question is, in your mind, are you saying we're still investing in youth? Are you investing in youth, or are you trying to save your season? Because I'm sure they're not at the point where they're trying to save their season, but we're getting close to it.
Oh no, they're close to it.
They're getting close to it.
Close to it, because this week becomes pretty much a must-win, because you're going to lose to Tampa. So
they can shock Tampa. They can shock Tampa. They're going to have a great game plan.
They could shock Kansas City, who has not played for like a year now. They haven't really played good football. They kind of been living on the seat of their pants.
Still getting to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I get that, but that's because they're so talented.
And truth be told,
they're not even playing up to but Tampa is focused. I don't think Miami beats Tampa.
Tampa could go into that game sleepwalking, and they could get hit with a rash of COVID like any team in the NFL. You never know.
Now you threw COVID in there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, COVID is the ultimate equalizer. If
everybody's healthy, Tampa's kicking Miami's ass.
COVID could wipe out the entire Dolphins right now this week.
No, I get that, but that's not playing the game. I'm talking about the game
Oh,
itself.
talent-wise?
Yeah, see, Tampa, it doesn't have the hangover that Kansas City still has from the Super Bowl that they won 2 years ago. They are still on that hangover. They're playing like shit. They fall behind all the time now. And here's Mahomes' magic and all that stuff, and it's caught up to them a little bit.
Still would be nice to have a quarterback who can do magic.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying it's a shame because they're so gifted. They need to get their shit straight because they can win more than just one title. They might become that team that only wins one, and you're like, oh crap, you had that opportunity.
If they're Seattle, they still got a title. I would still, I still take it. I mean, okay, they're not a dynasty.
You just answered my question. Your answer fueled my fire right there because that's the team that we all will always look back and go, Legion of Doom, and they only have one title, and obviously one of the worst decisions in the history of the NFL on Super Bowl Sunday.
Russell Wilson's still going into the Hall of Fame because he got one ring.
No, I get that. There's a bunch of guys that should go to the Hall of Fame from that team, but my point is, we still say to ourselves, yeah, they probably should have won more than one. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to get in that where I can have that conversation about being a team that just won. Like,
oh no,
we've had 2 decades of mediocrity. Hell, I just want a playoff win.
I give Tampa a lot of credit that after winning, they have come back really focused. Whereas
it's early. It's early. I'm not giving them any credit, and I love Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians is my favorite coach. I'm not giving them any credit because they're playing with the greatest quarterback of all time. Like,
yeah, that's my point. He's the guy keeping them in check.
It makes everything, and that's my thing. I'm starting to reevaluate things now, and Aaron Rodgers is out there, and Aaron Rodgers is going to be looking for a new home, and Aaron Rodgers is looking for a Brady situation. I think I'm willing to give him a Brady situation. I think it's
for sure. If you're the Dolphins, hell yeah.
Like you say, Aaron, what you want? You want to be the pseudo GM? You want to be LeBron James?
Well, he's gonna say, I want an offensive line if I'm going there. That's what he's gonna say. Hey. It's great you guys have no state tax. Yeah. I'm glad that you guys want to sign me. And I would love to go over there, but man, you better fix that O-line.
I mean, I'm not going
there to bust my collarbone for a third time.
Get me Adams and get me whatever offensive line I want. Sign me up. Like, where do I sign?
Right.
Like, that's right now. And I'm not giving up on Tua. I think we're going to evaluate Tua based on what happens when he comes back from the rib cage injury, and we're not going to use the rib cage injury as an excuse. And love Tua to death. Still believe that he's going to eventually be a good quarterback in 2023. I'm committed to that.
One more injury and it's over.
I don't care about that one more injury. I want to win now.
I'm just telling you that he will probably have one more injury, and if it happens,
it's gonna happen. Don't say if it happens. It's gonna happen.
Well, then they have to turn the page at that point, unfortunately, because you no longer can count on the unreliable.
Whether you
gave it a chance, you gave it a try. You were thinking maybe that was an aberration. He went through a bad stretch. This, that. Now he gets the rib injury. If he gets another injury, you have to turn the page. You have no choice.
It's not about turning the page. It's if in hindsight, we had just as equal amount of a chance at Tom Brady as Tampa Bay did. In hindsight, why don't you take that shot?
Well, at that moment they didn't. Their defense was top 10 in the second half of the season that year, leading into that offseason. They were a better team.
Yeah, they were a better team, but they're still a 7-9.
They have a pair of wide receivers that are just absolutely nasty. So, come on.
But why don't you take that mindset?
Miami doesn't have one guy. Godwin's better than everybody Miami has, period. Forget about Mike Evans. I don't even want to get into the Mike Evans conversation. Godwin alone is better than everybody Miami has.
But you know what? Brady would have brought Gronk. Brady would have brought AB, and you would have figured out how to make it work. My thing is, why didn't we think about it? Why didn't we shoot our shot? It's I
know why. Because if you would have brought Antonio Brown, he would have beat up all the movers moving from Davie to Miami Gardens. See,
it doesn't matter. Give the QB the power. Give the elite QB the power, and why not? At this point,
why do you want to get the movers getting beaten up by Antonio Brown, bro?
Antonio Brown's going to throw dicks at whoever he wants to throw dicks at. Tom Brady has him under control. Tom Brady's got Antonio Brown under control. He's the babysitter. Listen.
He hypnotizes him.
Hey, I mean, if you want a career,
Brady hangs a ring from one of his chains, and he just looks at Antonio.
If Tom Brady's got figured out a way to make it work, like I'm at the point now where I'm just tired. As is every Dolphin fan, I'm just tired of the mediocrity. We're doing it again.
I get it.
And nothing you've done has worked. Any way you've done it, however you've tried it. Let's just hand the team over to an elite quarterback. Let him figure it out. Why not?
I mean, you can't argue trading for Aaron Rodgers so you can have him for a couple years and try to make a run. I mean,
why not?
Look at last night. Last night proved that when you have those kind of guys, you're always in the game.
Take Aaron Rodgers off Green Bay. They're what, 6-win team?
Yeah, 6.
If wins. That.
Yeah, if that.
Well, he can do that. He can do that here.
Yeah.
Give him Adams. Sign a offensive lineman.
Yeah, no, you got to sign a better line because he'll end up injured. Behind this.
Why not? Why not at this point? Yeah, everything you've done has failed.
Yeah. Watson Watson behind this line would hire 10 masseuses after each game, and Lord knows what the hell is going to happen then. If he had 22 lawsuits now, can you imagine during his Dolphin run behind that offense?
I still do that too. Once he figures out a way to get all those lawsuits behind him, why not? You act like it's headed in the right direction. We can see it's not. Like, it's not.
Well, right now, no, there's nothing right now that looks like it's headed in the right direction. I mean, can't argue that right now. Can't argue that. Even though I'm not willing to give up on people yet, I can't argue that right now. It seems like the same old. It's
the same old song we've been playing for 2 decades.
Yeah. That part I can't argue.
I'm tired. I'm tired. You're tired. Like, it's enough excuses for this team. Like, I'm sorry. It like you just had a shopping spree in 3 drafts and still got a shit roster. Like, do something different.
Yeah. I wouldn't go to a shit roster because I still think there are pieces here, but because your O-line and your quarterback are not performing, it brings the entire thing
Can't stop the run, can't run the ball, can't protect the quarterback. You're a 6-win team.
Yeah.
And these are think about the things that I just said. They're consistent during the Brian Flores era, all 3 years. Can't stop the run, can't run the ball, can't protect the quarterback. Consistent. 2019, 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
And this isn't an indictment on him.
You live off of an opportunistic defense is what you live off of. Yeah.
Opportunistic defense
kind of what I've been telling
coaching.
The
game plans are sound.
Yeah. It's what I've been telling you about KC, that lately they kind of get into the heroics and they fall behind and then they come back and they storm back and try to and win games. Same thing here. These guys fall behind, whatever, and then they count on a turnover, some kind of game-changing play, and it's happened to them several times that really changes the fortunes of a game. But it's not because you were playing great defense the whole game. It's because you made a couple of specific plays on defense, especially on third downs, that kind of made the difference in the game.
If you want to be a different team, you got to change your identity. And I don't think. I think that they can do it. I think it would take a commitment from the coaching staff, but you got to change your identity and stop being a bitch ass team, because you are a bitch ass team. Teams can run at you when they want to. Teams can shut your run down, and teams can just hound your quarterback. You can't protect them. Those are three consistent things that, to me, you don't beat yourself, and you're disciplined, and you don't make penalties and turnovers.
Well, that's important.
They're all important.
Well, that's it. That's the reason why they've been able to win games.
There's a reason why they're in games. But you're still a bitch ass team. You're still a bitch ass team, though. You know. You can't get to the next level. Yeah, no, I get you. You don't have the physicality that it takes. Like the Tony Sparano teams, we can say whatever we want. God rest his soul. We can say whatever we want about Tony Sparano teams, but you weren't gonna push them around.
No, I get it. Yeah,
it wasn't gonna happen. It just wasn't. And since then, this has been a bitch ass team. Like, no matter what they do, since Casey Rodgers left this defense, you can run at the Dolphins whenever you want to.
Well, they had in those days, they had a better D line, much deeper, much more physical.
All right, then do what it takes.
They had a real commitment to having a big physical D line in those days.
All right, well, you got a big D line now.
They're not as deep as they were in those days.
Don't make excuses. Don't make excuses. It's a mentality.
I'm just telling you the truth.
Yeah, okay. They don't have a linebacker either. They don't have a linebacker.
Yeah,
How many tackles does Jerome Baker miss per game?
Yeah,
it's gotta be like 4.
Yeah, he's not an elite backer.
How many gaps do you see him shooting, stopping the run?
Yeah.
You know, and I hate to bring up Aaron Rodgers because I think he's doing the best that he can. On one leg, you saw him drag a leg on his touchdown interception, pick 6. Saw him drag a leg 40 yards down the field. But he shoots that gap, he blows somebody up, but does he make a tackle? Like, it's a mentality, and you did not do what it took to have a physical team, and now you want to sit there and be like, oh well, mistakes. Christian Wilkins might have played his best game yesterday. Did it matter?
Yeah, Seiler played well too.
Yeah, Seiler played well. And I think you have the personnel. You gotta stop. You gotta stop being, this soft physical team.
No,
a soft team. It's time to bow up and stop getting pushed around. Like, they got pushed around at the end of the game. Oakland with no offensive line.
Yeah.
Ran for 140 some yards. No offensive line.
And backup running back.
And a backup running back.
Yeah.
They did that to you.
Yeah.
Like, don't make excuses.
No. And the coach didn't make any excuses.
No, he's never gonna make any excuses. But he's got to look at himself in the mirror and say, for 3 years, I've had a bitch ass team.
Yeah.
That, like, you got to own that. Like, 3 years.
Yeah,
you have had a bitch ass team. Like, there's no argument about it. You can't stop the run. You can't run the ball. You can't protect the quarterback. That's on you. That's on you. That's I can't even put it on the GM because he's used resource after resource after resource. That's on you.
So what you're saying is you guarantee a win against the Colts this Sunday.
Yes, Jacoby Brissett game. Jacoby Brissett's revenge.
Yeah, there's only one guy that can't move faster than Jacoby Brissett, and that's Carson bent both ankles Wentz.
Hey, yes. I am guaranteeing a victory this week. I am, because you know what? I love revenge games. I love them. I love them.
Well, Jacoby's gonna love it. This is his chance to get back.
Listen, this is it. Like players always talk about, after the fact, like, yeah, I wanted that one. Like, this is the game. Mac Hollins, his speech needs to be, let's do it for Jacoby.
Yeah, well, all week he'll tell you it's not important.
It's not important. It's not a big deal. It's just the next opponent. And then
after the game, some of the players after the game will say, "Oh yeah, we knew Jacoby wanted this badly, so we had to Yeah.
So I'm in everybody's ass next week if I'm Jacoby. Like everybody. Like you like Will Fuller, you gotta do more, baby. Like
although they can win by 30 next week if they start Reed Sinnett. I'm just saying, if they start Reed Sinnett, he's got a chance there to really explode. So I'm just saying he's the secret weapon, Omar. They just don't want to unleash him. I don't get it. I really don't. I think they're afraid that if Reed Sinnett comes off the bench, they'll never be able to go back to Tua again. And
that's clearly what it is. Can
you imagine? Yes. Yeah. The controversy that it would ensue after that.
All right. he the guy who lost his job to Josh Rosen.
Hey, he has grown. Okay, he's ready to go.
Yeah.
All right, what are you working on?
Reed.
What are you working on the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Man, I'm just trying to. I got to follow Flores and figure out what his mindset and mentality is for getting his team focused. I mean, I think last week was an opportunity where you couldn't give them that tough love. You couldn't kick them in the butt. This week, you got to kick them in the butt, man. Like you're not playing up to your talent level, and you have to take ownership. If we took ownership for it last week as coaches, you got to take ownership for it this week as players. And I don't disagree with that mentality.
Let's see what happens this week, man. Would be nice to get 2-2. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly and catch his work there at the South Florida SunSentinel.com. Omar, as always, thank you, my brother. We'll catch up on Friday.
All right, talk to you later, Bill.
You're listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Canesware at Miami Fanware in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at canesware.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Canesware, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Enjoy Miami in speed and style. Only on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. Take advantage of special September Florida residence rate. Monday through Friday, you can book a tour on the biggest, baddest speedboat tour at 50% off. Must show Florida ID in order to get the discount. Tour special only available during September. Call 305-373-7001. That's 305-373-7001 to reserve your tickets on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures.
All right, we are back. And by the way, this weekend I went on here as we start hour number 2. I went on Saturday on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. I went with the wife and I had a blast, man. We had a great time. We took the boat around 1:30, I think it was, and got back, and it was actually really cool. You go see a lot of the houses on Star Island and Hibiscus and all that good stuff. They cruise you around different parts of the bay. They haul ass. They do all kinds of like curves and little U-turns and let me tell you, they're really good boat drivers too. That was the other thing, because when there are certain times that you have another boat cross and you'll have the wake, they will know how to attack the wake in a way that doesn't necessarily, put you in, like, you get all discombobulated or whatever. You might get a little wet, obviously, a little water bounces up or whatever, not a big deal. I barely got wet. I may have felt a little bit of spray, let's just say. But Thriller Miami, all this week here, you can get 50% off 305-371-FAST. That's 305-371-FAST for Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. Really, really cool thing, man. Whether you see Capone's house, who else was it? Estefan, bunch of houses that they showed you, and Beckham's house, all kinds of different houses all throughout that they show you there on Star Island. So really, I enjoyed the hell out of it. It's you go to Bayside, you park right in Bayside, and you walk right there. They're right there inside of the docks there on Bayside, and you are out of there. It is awesome. So check it out if you can. Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. You got a little time during the week. Go on out there and make sure you tell them that we sent you. All right. Don't forget, folks, to smash the hell out of the like button. It is one of the most important things that you will do for our show. It gets the algorithms going, and it pops up on more search engines for people all around. So really important that you hit that like button, man. That really gets it going, and I appreciate all of you out there. Remember, you can make a donation to the show through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show is the address. That's Cash Big O Show is the address. Jason says, team not improved from years 2 to 3. If anything, they've gotten worse on O-line and linebacker. Everything else has pretty much stayed the same, average. Yeah, no, right now there's no way you can say there's been improvement. Now, we're only through 3 games. We got to see what happens when Tua gets back and see if there's any improvement at that point. Now, I know there's plenty of you that doesn't matter to you already. You have given up on Greer. You have given up on Flo. You've given up on the team. You've given up on the O-line. You've given up on Tua. I mean, the sway of emotions from Tank to Tua to now, Tua the terrible, pretty much, it really is amazing. It's one of those where you just get, floored by all of that. And you've given up on the offensive coordinators. And I mentioned it to Omar. It's funny when I hear people, well, the 2 offensive coordinators isn't working. And look, I'm not going to fight the mob mentality. It's not working. It's not working. But then when I tell you they actually ran the ball, so do you have a problem with half the coordinators or the whole coordinators? What is it? Because you can't complain and say it's not working when they actually ran the ball. And they ran it at a really good clip. Not sure if you guys kept up with it, but Gaskin, 13 for 65, super productive. Brown, 7 for 31, and then Brissett, 7 for 37. They all ran at a really high clip. So I guess half the coordinators are working. And on the passing side, they didn't even pass till the end. And that tells me that the coach told them, I don't trust this guy. That's how they coached yesterday. They coached like they didn't trust Brissett, which, considering some of the brain farts I've seen the first couple of weeks, I can understand why they don't trust him. Nico says, the 3 first-round picks from 2020 is haunting the Dolphins right now, holding out hope for them still, but so far, no bueno. He's right. Austin Jackson, Noah Igbenogany, and Tua. And really, Tua's a guy that has to perform. So that way, if you get your quarterback, all right, whatever, you missed on the other 2, you can deal with it as long as you found the quarterback. And it's really all up to Tua. He's the guy that's got to be the ultimate difference maker in this entire group. Sucks, man. It sucks, but that's where they're at right now. And again, 1 year in, I have a hard time giving up on any players 1 year in. I just don't feel it's fair. Plus, the amount of players that I can name that sucked in their first or second years and even their third years and then figured it out. And I know some of you are saying, oh, we don't have 3 years to wait. I mean, you got to wait what you got to wait for any player to develop. But there's plenty. The league is littered with players that struggled in their first and second years. Darrelle Revis, I think struggled badly his first year. I had Jet fans calling me, hey, is this guy a bust? Which is ridiculous to call anybody a bust when they just entered the league in their first year. But there were people kind of questioning that already in his first year. And then the guy went on to have a Hall of Fame career. Eric Moulds, I think, was bad for 2 years for the Bills. It happens all the time. Pat Surtain was lost his first year. Derek says, Big O, I love Tua, but he might be done, my man, because of the injury proneness. Maybe. Well, I mean, it's an obvious point. I get it. Injuries are part of his, but that was part of the MO with him from the get-go. You knew that that's what he had, was an injury history. So that's why I'm telling you that if he has another injury and you're the front office, at that point you have to say, all right, we got to go get another quarterback because we can't trust this kid. He can't stay healthy. He's proven that at Alabama, whatever you want to say, and he's already proven it here in a short amount of time. So one more injury, I would imagine they're going to say, you know what? Time to move on. George says, Big O, this defense will be totally spent by the season stretch run if the offense continues to not do their part by scoring points and balancing the time of possession. Yep. Yeah. But they've got to have a bigger commitment to running the ball. Yesterday, they actually had success. I don't know why they didn't run the ball more. That was weird. You actually were able to run the ball at times. Keep running it, man. Alex Diaz says, it's gotten better. That's still up for debate, but at least this is happening at the beginning of the year instead of late, because I do not think they can turn this thing around. Oh, no, because I do think they can turn this thing around. Well, let's hope so, Alex. But you got to win this week against the Colts. It becomes a must win. You need to get to 2-2. So you're going to lose against Tampa. So that's 2-3. And then after that, you've got a chance to then get back on track, get Tua back, hopefully start playing better. These are things that are going to happen in order to turn it around. St. Michael says, Nico Jones, you're absolutely correct. They were supposed to be the foundation for our future, and Tua is the only one with potential. AJ and N will be out of the NFL soon. Okay, Austin Jackson and N-I. Who's N-I? What's he talking about? Oh, well. I don't know. Let's see. Radically says, watch Brissett make another jump in his performance next week. Tua may not get his job back. Yeah, no, Tua will definitely get his job back. Watching Brissett only solidifies the fact that you need Tua back. How long he stays in the lineup, well, that's up to Tua now. See if he can, stay healthy one way or another there. Jose Gonzalez says, we're not giving up, but that pass in the end zone for a safety was brutal, and that inside running play to Gesicki was all on coaching. That inside running play to Gesicki, that was just to center the kick. That's all that was. And that was, which I would have rather you give it to Brown instead of giving it to Gesicki, by the way, to do that. That's the part that I would disagree with. But it also shows you that they had zero faith in Brissett. That's why they did that. That's what stood out to me yesterday. That in key moments they said, nah, we can't count on you, Jacoby. David Holt, thank you, sir, for a little love on the super chat. Phillips has yet to get a sack. Do you see this as a problem? Yeah, what do you think? He's not doing right, fins up. Well, he played actually much better yesterday. Had a couple of pressures. He did have about 6 tackles yesterday. He played more than he had played so far. Now let's see if the playing time increases. does the production also increase? He hasn't had a lot of reps. When you're getting like 20 snaps a game or 18, that's hard. This week he had a lot more. I haven't seen how much, but I can tell you that it wasn't around the 20 mark where he had before that. I can look it up, obviously, but that I think is one of the issues overall for Jalen. He hasn't been playing, and I guess they haven't trusted him. But yesterday they made a commitment and actually gave him more playing time, and in giving him more playing time, he actually was much more productive. Here's his stats yesterday. Jalen Phillips had 6 tackles, 4 solo. And let me see here. Where are we at? Let me get you. Oh, that's right. I don't have it in this one. I have to look at the other stat sheet that has the game, the amount of plays. I'm looking at the wrong one. My bad on that one. But he actually had a better game yesterday. So give him a little credit there. Third game, played more, played better. They might be figuring him out a little bit more, and they might be finding some kind of a comfort zone for him. That might be what's going on with Jalen. I again, third game, I'm not going to freak out on Jalen Phillips and say, okay, well, I'm going to be talking bust with a kid that's in his first year. I mean, think about this. Look, let's go over some of this. First year, right? They draft Wilkins. He's on the team. He's productive, 13th overall. Not as dominant as you would like. I would agree with that. Played well yesterday. Dieter starting for the team, 3rd rounder. Andrew Van Ginkel starting for the team, 5th rounder. Myles Gaskin starting for the team, a 7th rounder. Those are the 4 picks that are still with you. And you didn't have a lot. You only had 6. The other picks are Isaiah Prince and Chandler Cox. So 4 of your 6 are contributing right now in your first draft. Last year's draft, which, again, too early, but Tua won at number 5, Jackson at number 18, and Igbenogany at number 30, all on the team. One of them is playing. The other 2 are not right now. Hunt, the 2nd-round pick, starting for you. Raekwon Davis, starter for you, but he's injured right now, number 56 in the 2nd round. Brandon Jones had 2 sacks yesterday, number 70 overall in the 3rd round. Solomon Kinley, now one of your backup offensive linemen in the 4th round. And then Stowbridge is no longer here. Curtis Weaver no longer here. Blake Ferguson no longer here. And Malcolm Perry no longer here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are still on your team. 4 are not from last year's draft. In this draft, you've got Larnell Coleman and Jared Dokes on the practice squad. Jalen Waddle starting. Jalen Phillips is starting. Javon Holland is playing. Liam Eichenberg started yesterday. And Hunter Long is part of a rotation. It's too early to say what was successful and what was a failure. I'd love to sit here. Now, am I happy with Austin Jackson? Of course not. How can you be happy with Austin Jackson's play overall? No, it's a 1st rounder. You expect him to play better. You want him to play better, but right now he hasn't. I'm not going to lie to you guys and say, oh, yeah, no, I'm super happy with the way he's played. No, I'm not. I'm super disappointed with the way he's played. I get it. But just like Phillips, he did have a couple of QB hurries in this game. He did play better, but he played more than he has played all season long. And that, my friends, is is improvement this week for him. And that's why maybe he played better. All right, 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the program. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the show. One guy says, I can't stand everyone bashing Tua unfairly for something he can't control. He can only work with what's being given to him. And Flores and Greer took a chance on the idea of a very young O-line with good potential. It's obvious that plan isn't working out too well, but that's the only real big problem to this team. And once they fix, and they will, this team will be rolling in the right direction again. I hope so. I hope so. Would be nice. You have to admit Tua doesn't have the raw ability. He needs a great line, great running backs, great wide receivers. We're back to the Tannehill situation. Everybody needs to be perfect. I disagree with you on that, sir. I completely disagree with you on that. Tua can throw the ball. He has feel for the pocket. He has pocket presence. He has what's that called? Accuracy. Ball placement, anticipation. He has a lot of the traits that you need to be a really good quarterback in this league. I think he has all the traits, really. I think the size and the arm, it's nice. It's a bonus, but it's not a requirement to be successful. It's more of a requirement to be accurate. And he is accurate. And that's something that Ryan Tannehill still can't do. He doesn't place the ball where it needs to be all the time. Receivers still have to turn around and catch a ball or stop or slow down. Still happens to this day. It's just most of you don't really watch the games. And then you just check the stats, and the stats are kind of misleading because it's really he's playing off of Derrick Henry constantly. So you don't need the perfect running game. You don't need the perfect situation for him, but you do need to protect him. That you have to. If you protect him, even with mediocre receivers, he'll make them better. I truly believe that. But you've got to protect him. That is one thing that he needs. He doesn't have to have the best running backs or the best wide receivers or the best defense in the world. What he needs is a line that gives him some time. That's all. You give Tua some time, he'll find a way to move the ball and score some points. But if you've got Tua running around for his life while he's trying to learn this, it's a pain in the ass. And that's not his fault. Remember, you can reach out to us many ways. Text line 855-912-1056. Email Big O Radio Show. Twitter, Big O Show. YouTube, of course, you got the chat board there. Hit the smash the like button as always. And Cash App and Venmo. That's Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. So please, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show, or very important to smash the hell out of that like button. Jay Phillips has a lot of talent. He's thinking too much right now. Flores needs to tell him stop overthinking and rush the passer. He did a lot of that yesterday, sir. Wilkins gets moved constantly at point of attack. Yeah, no, Wilkins has done a serviceable job. He hasn't been a bad player, but he hasn't been the 13th pick overall in the draft at defensive tackle. You can get guys like Wilkins in the 4th and 5th rounds in the draft all the time. D tackles like Wilkins fall down there all the time. I'm not going to argue. He's not a bad player. That I'm not going to go to that extreme. Is he worth the 13th pick in the draft? He has not been. No. No way around it. We have to call it like we see it. The pass interference play that cost the Chiefs the game must have been a bad call. Andy Reid left the stadium in an ambulance, went to the hospital. He's supposedly in stable condition, so that's good. But yeah, that was what a stupid penalty. That gave the Chargers the opportunity to win the game. That penalty right there. Let's see. Man, I just want the Dolphins to be good. I'm so tired of mediocrity. Everybody is, man. Everybody is, and that's why today becomes that much more frustrating for a lot of Dolphin fans because they've watched this over and over and over again. And you guys are like, for a lack of a better comparison, that you're like that volcano in La Palma, and you're just exploding and rage and lava is spewing everywhere because you're so hot right now at this point, and you kind of feel like you're going down the same path, which you really don't know that you are, but that's the feeling you're creating. Like I said, there's a mob mentality, and I'm not going to change it. And I'm not here to change it. And I'm not here to try to convince you. I'm just not where you guys are, that the answer is to fire everybody. Okay, they're not perfect. They screwed up. It's hard to defend right now the Austin Jackson pick. But it's too early to complain about it, so I will wait. And I know that's frustrating for some of you. Some of you just want me to come out here and just wail on the team and wail on the front office and wail on the head coach and wail on the owner and say, okay, these guys are a disaster and they suck. And I just don't believe that. I'm sorry if I need to see more. I'm sorry if I pissed you off because I'm showing too much patience in your eyes, but it's kind of the way I feel. The only thing that obviously I have a very short amount of patience for is Tua's injuries. And that's where another one of those, that's where I will be with those of you out there that don't believe in Tua. But not because I don't think he can't play. I'm convinced he can play. But I'm also convinced he can't stay healthy. And that's the problem. And if it happens again, you just can't keep taking that chance anymore. I've watched it with Devontae Parker. And you hope that he can stay away from injuries, and he can't. No matter what, his body gets worn down and beaten up. Solomon says, should we trade for a solid QB? I love Jacoby. We actually went to middle school together at Roosevelt Middle School in Palm Beach. But, man, he is not for us at starting QB. First of all, Solomon, who would you trade for? Who's available that you know of that could be had? That's the question I have for you. Who? So get back to me on that one. Mike Joseph says, allow Greer and Flo to build through their mistakes. I have no problem with that. If they made certain mistakes, I'm not ready to say they made certain mistakes, but if they did, yes, I agree with that. Did the Finns think that choosing Lamar, Jay, he was going to become the next Michael Vick? Well, it all depends on how you look at that. Are you impressed by that? I'm not impressed by Michael Vick. What, that he was a great athlete running around? The guy never became a great quarterback. That's why he never won anything. That's kind of so if that's Lamar, you can have him. I know what happens with running quarterbacks. Eventually they get broken in half, or they get too old that they can't run anymore. But unless they become great passers, they don't win jack shit. Steve Young finally learned that, hey, I got to run less and pass more. I'm suffering all these concussions. I'm getting my head knocked out because I think I'm a running back at times. And he paid the price heavily. So being the next Michael Vick doesn't mean jack shit to me. Michael Vick was a guy that you didn't fear with his arm. You feared his legs. Yeah, once in a while he'll make a good pass because he's an athlete. But he never became a great quarterback. That's the difference. So being the next Michael Vick, my brother, not good enough. How about that? Okay? Now, if you want a highlight reel, knock yourself out, dude. Knock yourself out. Go ahead. If that's what it's all about, a highlight reel, go ahead. Let's see. Do you want to know what quarterback we should have right now to fill the spot in? Who did New England let go of? He would have had motivation to prove everybody wrong. Talk about Cam Newton? Seriously? Come on, man, please. What do you think about Drew Lock, Big O? Drew Lock's got a lot of talent. I know that Teddy, they're keeping it steady right now with Teddy, but eventually Teddy will run out of gas, and you'll be up against a really good quarterback, and that defense is not going to be able to carry you, and you're going to need Teddy to carry you, and it's not going to happen. I've watched that story before. I don't know what they want for Drew Lock. I have no idea. Big O, by the way, yesterday's loss is also Tua's fault. That's right, Jamie. It's all Tua's fault. You are correct, sir. Chris Adams says, Big O, a tough day yesterday. I want to abandon the offensive plan, but I wonder if they keep with it, will it pay off in the end, or will this team quit and it'll be a disaster? What do you think? Chris, you're asking me what I don't know, my brother. I don't know. I don't know enough about Hunt and Dieter and all these guys, if they're all going to become, good players, serviceable players, great players. I have no idea. I'm hoping, because in a perfect world, I would like that. But you want me to take a guess? I haven't seen enough to know. It could go either way right now, because we've watched a lot of ups. No, not many ups and lots of downs. Everyone wants Flo fired. Another clown coach like Gase would have gone to Vegas unprepared and would have gotten blown out. Say what you want about Flo. The team is always prepared and plays hard. I like Flo, man. I like Flo. Now, is he someone that I agree with everything he does? No. Why would it be? No. There's going to be things that I disagree with Flo, but I like Flo. I think he's a damn good coach, and I think we got to give him some time to kind of figure all of this out. I just wonder, why is it so toxic? It is bad, dude. Like, really bad. Like, very few people have any patience left over for the Dolphins. And I get it. It must be all the crap that they've gone through over the years. They can't take it anymore. They can't wait anymore. You can't tell them, oh, have patience. And the first sign of something going wrong, they're off the bandwagon. They want to fire you. They want to get rid of you. I mean, it's just molten lava spewing out of the top of the mountain is what it is. Oh, is Tebow available? Yeah, I think there's a chance you can bring Tebow over. He can actually do Good Morning America right from the stadium. And then, go practice with the boys. Circumcise a couple of kids at a local hospital. Complete day for Tim Tebow. First, Jacoby tried Waddle. Then he tried Parker. The whole time he was giving the running backs a chance, and then he found Gesicki. Jacoby goes where he finds guys who want to win. Did the same in Indy. And yet they didn't win much in Indy. But that's all right. Sorry, Big O. Love you. But I live in Arizona, and there was some weird findings with the voter audit. Not trying to be political crap in here, just the truth from out here. They didn't find anything, dude. Okay? So you can invent whatever you want. Again, create whatever narrative you want. It was a legal vote, period. All right? Trump lost to sorry-ass Biden. Live with it. Problem with some of you Trumpies out there is, you guys must have been little bitches in the park. You took the football to the park. They didn't pick you, so you grab the football and you go home. Sometimes you lose. Accept it. You lost to a bum. That's it. Trump, the loser, lost the popular vote to a liar like Hillary. Okay? That's the problem with some of you Trumpies. You're so butthurt, dude. You can't take it. You lost. You got your ass kicked. Shut the hell up. Go home. Okay? Stop whining like little bitches. The election wasn't rigged. You lost to a terrible opponent. Period. End of story. Why? Because enough people thought Trump was even more terrible than Biden. That's it. Whether America's right or wrong, that was the decision made. Live with it. Jesus. God. Whiny little bitches. I mean, there's always challenges to every election for the end of time, but nothing to this extreme ever. Ever. I've never seen a more sorry-ass bunch of sore losers. Are we clear on that? Not to get political. But see, I don't care about Democrats or Republicans. They can both kiss my ass. That's the difference. I don't get butthurt by any of this because I know that all they do on each side is give us shitty candidates. God. Amazing, dude. Bro, learn to lose. That's all. Have some class. Don't be a scumbag like that guy is. Learn to lose. Don't lie about it. God bless, dude. I know they're all crooked. Every one of them. Democrats, Republicans, they're all crooked. That's the problem. Democrats think they're perfect, and Republicans don't know what they're doing, and Republicans think the same thing of Democrats. And you're both freaking lost. Anybody that defends Hillary is lost. Anybody that thinks Biden is any good is lost. Anybody that thinks that Trump is a good human being, come on, dude. Give me a break. Have some balls. You're a bunch of cowards. You can't even look at your own party and actually say what's honestly wrong with your own party. Because you're party zombies. Not to get political. Yeah. Carlos, Democrats threw a 4-year temper tantrum. So what, dude? Not like this. Nobody's done this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if your butt hurt, bro. I'm sorry. What is it? Carlos, I'm sorry if you're a little butt hurt Republican, dude. I'm sorry, but Trump got his ass kicked. Okay? He got his ass kicked. Worse than the Dolphins against the Bills. Suck it up. It's amazing, dude. Really amazing. Anyway, that's why I love this show. Big O just took the top off the defense on politics. I mean, it's just honest. If you're a Democrat and you're proud of the clown in California or the idiot in Portland or the moron in Seattle, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Just like if you're a Republican, you think the clown in Texas knows what the hell he's doing. I'm sorry if you guys can't be objective about your own parties. That's why I call you party zombies. No matter what they do, you'll follow. You won't think for yourselves ever. God. What else do we have here outside of that silliness? We have learned to lose for the past 20 years with these Dolphins. Thomas, but it's so painful. It is so damn painful. All right, let's start off our number 3 here, all right? Quick break, quick turnaround.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
This is the Big O Show.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we are back. It's our number 3 of the program. Big O, tell me how you think this Watson situation plays out. Solomon, I have no idea, brother. How am I going to know? I don't know anything about the legal situation. I don't know enough about that. Don't know. Guy might be guilty as hell. Guy might be completely innocent. I have no idea. Now, I'll say one thing. He plays in the NFL again. Okay? That I'll tell you. He's a quarterback, a really good one. A top 5, maybe top 7, worst case scenario, but he's easily a stud. So even if he ends up serving a year in jail, he'll come out and he'll play football again. Guaranteed he'll play football. Or if he's found innocent of all charges, or, it's they can't decide or anything because it's he said, they said, whatever, he plays. So that I'll tell you, that's the easiest prediction of them all. Deshaun Watson will play football again in the NFL. Josh Gordon just got reinstated for, what is this, the 47th time? The NFL doesn't care about human beings. Josh Gordon has no business being in the NFL. The guy's failed all kinds of drug tests, alcohol, drugs, all that stuff. I don't know, like 8 or 9 times already. Clearly, he cannot be a professional. He cannot handle the rigors and the demands of pro sports and his demons. Because it's not just weed, it's drugs, it's all kinds of stuff that he's had issues with. If it was just weed, I'd laugh about the whole thing. Like, give me a break already. But it's not. It's a lot deeper than that. The guy's got a lot of problems. And the NFL doesn't care. And they reinstated him again. It's like baseball and Steve Howe. And I know most of you are too young to even know what the hell I'm talking about, but baseball gave Steve Howe about 8 chances. This guy was a cokehead. I don't even know if he's with us anymore. But back in the day, he was a monster cokehead. And he must have failed drug tests a whole bunch of times. And they kept giving him another chance and another chance and another chance. And you're sitting there going, what the hell is going on? Because in no walk of life would they ever tolerate that. If you're a constant drunk or drug addict or whatever, and you're working for a law firm or you're a teacher or whatever, they're going to fire your ass, and they have no intentions on ever hiring you back. But somehow or another in sports, as long as you can shoot the basketball, score the football, throw it, hit the baseball 8 miles, they will tolerate anything. You can kill somebody. Leonard Little killed a woman. He got 6 months probation. He got reinstated by the Tennessee Titans 8 games later, an 8-game suspension for killing someone DUI. 2 years later, the moron was arrested again for DUI. The NFL stands for nothing. They stand for the mighty dollar. And some fans are the same way. When Ray Rice, the video comes out that he, just smacks down that woman, spits on her. We had women wearing Ray Rice jerseys saying "Free Ray Rice" in Baltimore. I had to bring up women. Forget men. I know men are Neanderthals. These women had the jersey of Ray Rice on after watching him beat down another woman who he also spit on. Supposedly, his fiance then became his wife. That's how he treats his fiance/wife. He spits on her, and then he beats her down, and he drags her out of an elevator like a sack of potatoes. So Deshaun Watson will play football again. I don't know if it's for the Dolphins or who. That I can't tell you, my friend. But he will play football again. No doubt in my mind. The NFL will allow it because they don't care about human beings. They can say whatever they want, but what they do is completely opposite of that. All right. Mr. Spook says Watson and Sobey would be a disaster. Doubt he plays again. Too much baggage with law. I don't know. I don't know enough about the stuff behind the scenes. I don't know what kind of evidence there is. I just don't know. Thomas Jensen on the bright side says the Canes beat Connecticut State Fire Academy for the blind. LOL. 69-0, huh? Yep, they're back. The Canes are back. That's what's going on. Ed Marti says, I would trade our past 5 drafts, first picks over the last 2 years for the last 2 picks, charges made Herbert and Slater. Michael Bustamante said Watson will regress after coming out of jail. By then, no team will want him because he's another Kaepernick. Oh, no. Michael, you couldn't be more wrong. First of all, what a terrible comparison, dude. That might be one of the worst comparisons. Not the worst, but it's a top 10 comparison. Top 10 terrible comparison. Yeah, Kaepernick was actually like fighting for a cause. Watson just wants a job. That's it. Watson will not, believe it or not, in their eyes, Watson is not the distraction that Kaepernick is. And Kaepernick, not even in his dreams, is Watson at quarterback. Everybody kind of leaves out that this is a guy that really didn't want to play quarterback. That's not Watson's game. Watson wants to play quarterback. He'll play quarterback, my brother. I'm not sure that you are. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible take. It's not even close. Sign Brian Laundrie to an NFL contract. Fits the NFL criteria. Well, I tell you what, he might be good on the field because you can't catch him. Adrian Sosa says Watson paid for a rub and tug from a willing participant. Not sure how this turns into jail time. Adrian, are you sure that they were all willing? I love that. I love that part. See, Adrian's the kind of dude that reads the headline in an article and assumes that's what the article's all about. That's Adrian right there. Adrian is the typical lazy-ass American that comes up with, just stupid things, says whatever he wants, reads off of whatever, and just goes right into it. That's it. Yeah, Watson did nothing. I know. I was involved in all those situations. That's what Adrian Sosa is saying right there. No, I was there. They were all willing participants. Yep. That's America right there, dude. Right there. Adrian Sosa is America. Tabloid America right there. Adrian Sosa. Way to go, buddy. Way to set the example of what's the norm in this country. Jump to every conclusion, make every assumption, and have no base on anything. No proof, no nothing. Fantastic. Way to go. Chip Brown says the media circus that would come with it would be too big of a distraction. He plays well, it comes and goes, bro. Daniel Grafton says, we've put ourselves in a rock and a hard place, rebuilding still, yet win now team. If I get the right feeling is that we are in a win now mode because people can't wait or take it anymore. That's actually pretty true. They really can't take it anymore. Dolphin Nation is hurting, bro. They can't wait. They have no patience. Caesar says, I'm afraid the Dolphins will trade the house for Watson out of desperation. Ross wants to win now. Dougie Fresh says, got swept off the stage like Big O with the Sandman at the Apollo. I was on a ladder when O got his broom out and almost fell. I was laughing so hard. Sweep. I guess he's talking about the 42-40 mark or something. I don't know. Big O, if Tua is so-so by the end of the year, do you trade for Watson? And don't call me butthurt. I'm a libertarian. LOL. Listen, we're all butthurt, right? I mean, come on. None of us really vote in a good president, no matter what side. So we all pick the wrong president every year, every 4 years. That's because they don't give us any good selections. So don't worry about it. We're all butthurt, bro. Okay? Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians. None of us get a great president. None of us. We never get one. So we all lose. We're all Americans. Forget about the stupid political stance. I actually can't stand it. It divides us completely. We should all be for one cause, humanity. What's best for humanity, period. But that's not the case. And listen, dude, yes, if Tua is so by the end of the year and he doesn't give you enough moments to believe in, it's not just Watson. I'm going to throw Rodgers. Every time I've mentioned this over the last week or two, I always mention Rodgers too. I think either one of those two you trade for. Okay? Definitely. So I could see them making a move for either one. Ed Marti, thank you, sir, for a little love on the super chat. He says, I wish you good luck dealing with all of us. I don't need luck, sir. I just need blood pressure pills. That's all. They're here every morning. When I wake up, I take my blood pressure pills. So I'm always prepared. I wake up, I got my blood pressure pills. Yes, I have a fridge in my studio. And then I have my cod liver oil every day. Those of us that have physical ailments like this, my friends, this, I think, is what keeps me alive. And thanks to Bob Baumhauer, by the way, former Dolphin great. He's the one that turned me on to cod liver oil, and it made an enormous difference in my life. So, just in case. What else do we have here? Big O, you should do a politics show. It would be awesome. No, I don't want to do a politics show. Are you kidding me? No, dude. No. Anyway, all I'm going to do is piss off Democrats and Republicans, especially the ones that can't handle the truth about their parties. So, wouldn't be fun. What do you think Ross is thinking now, and what's his next move? Lunch? 12:16. I think he's thinking lunch right now. And then maybe dinner. And then he's going to look at his bank account and go, damn, I'm filthy rich. Holy shit. I gave all this money to Michigan. I built up the stadium. I own a team, and I still have this money in the bank. I think those are his next moves. Yeah. Maybe a call to Watson. You got any hookups? Something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe that's how he bonds with Watson. I'm joking. I have no idea. I have no idea what he's going to do, man. I don't know if he's thinking like you guys out there that are already panicking and want to fire everybody. I'm going to say that I don't think he's thinking along those lines. I think he's frustrated like the rest of us, but what are you going to do? Marino Castillo says, I think the O-line improved from the first two games. If they keep up like that, probably they'll be decent by the time Tua comes back versus Jags. Marino, man, I hope you're right. Because I can't argue with you, right? They played better this week than they had the first 2 weeks. They actually ran the ball. They gave them some time. And that's what I talked about all throughout the week, that the job for the O-line while Tua is out is, dude, get better so you don't kill your quarterback. Let's see what happens this week against Indy. And then you got Tampa. Victor Huertas says, I voted for Trump, but it wasn't a butthurt American when he lost. Because deep down inside. Listen, I don't blame you if you voted for Trump. It's Hillary or Trump. Give me a break, dude. How can you fault any American? Like, what a decision. Give me a break. So I don't fault any of you out there. They don't give you guys great selections. Or they don't give us great selections. It's all good. We're screwed either way, man. We're all in it together. We're all going to suffer the same way. Look at Biden. He's giving away money like it's going out of style. Businesses all across the country can't find employees. Why? Because everybody's living for free. But no, that's a good thing. Let's make us even lazier than we are already. Way to go, Biden. It doesn't matter who's in office. You're going to screw the pooch. Come on, man. Ross also wanted to buy the Jets and failed, so he came down here and got the Fins. Then he hired all former Jets folks, and the rest is history. His next move, according to Ricky, should be to go get Deshaun Watson. We need them now. Who cares about all the legal stuff? We need to watch to win. There's no one else. Fins up. See, there you go. You got to love hey, forget the facts. Forget legal issues in the way. Forget that the NFL probably won't allow the trade anyway. But no, let's just do it anyway. It's because we need it right now. Because all that is important is winning. It's not important if you actually rape somebody. It's not important that if maybe he is found guilty, you acquired a criminal. Nah, why take that chance? Who cares? Not a big deal. I love that thinking. It's so awesome. Let's see. Most of us had this team at 1-2. It's early. We will be okay, says AJ Martin. Man. Now, listen. What will be rough when you get back is Tua. Tua better be prepared for the kind of criticism he's never felt before in his life. Tua better be prepared for a angry fan base. Tua better play at an elite level, and not elite like I'm saying. I don't mean like he better play like, Tom Brady's playing right now. What I mean is he better, I use the wrong word. He better play a clean game. Because I feel now we're at a threshold where you have so many fans that have fallen in love and convinced that Herbert's the guy. Herbert was the answer. You failed already. So now they're mad at Flo. They're mad at Greer. They're mad at Ross. And now they're mad at Tua. And Tua is he's such a good dude and so likable. It's hard to dislike him. It's hard to root against him because he is such a respectful human being. I'm going to feel bad because I feel our cold and callous fan base is going to turn on this young man. When he does come back, if he doesn't play well, if he makes mistakes, if he turns over the ball, they are going to turn on him. They're going to turn on him like they haven't turned on a quarterback in a long time. I'm just preparing you for the reality of what's coming. And I don't know if Tua's prepared for it. I don't know if his agents talk to him. His agent doesn't know our town very well. Like most people that don't live here, they don't understand it. There is over 20 years of frustration going on with this fan base. And it's reached a point where there is no patience. They've given up on a ton of people already. They're convinced the season is over. They're convinced you're going to have a losing season. They're convinced the O-line will never play well, at least this group. They're convinced that Tua is not the guy. They're convinced that Chris Greer is not the guy. They're now thinking that what Flo did last year was a complete aberration. This is what they're facing. And Tua will be the guy that they unload on. Mark my words. You will see. I hope it doesn't happen because I hope Tua goes out there and balls out finally and starts to turn the corner and shuts a lot of people up. That would be about the most glorious moment for me as a Dolphin in the last 25 years would be this moment here. That Tua comes back, kicks ass, and shoves it up everybody's, you know what I'm saying? He tells everybody to stick it where the sun don't shine. I'm hoping that's the case. but I do fear the worst now because we're at a moment where there is so much anger that it really is hard to bottle it up and keep it contained. I think they're at a point where they're going to explode. And they're going to boo Ross, and they're going to boo the coaches, and they're going to take it completely out on Tua. So I hope this young man gets healthy. I hope the team brings him back when he's healthy, not at 80%, at 85, at 75. He's not the kind of player that you do that. He doesn't have the kind of body that you want to do that. I hope when they bring him back, he is healthy enough to go out there and be effective. Because if he isn't, it's going to get ugly. Oh, Tua needs to play much better if he wants to be our QB for the next few years. If he doesn't, people will be pissed off. I'm mad as hell for what I've seen already. That's what I'm saying. David says, I do also, but the fans hate Tua. Andy Rebus says, that's why I say the Dolphins have the worst fans in the NFL. If it does happen, I'm going to be so disappointed in this fan base. Tank McBride says, if the Dolphins trade Tua and goes on to win a Super Bowl, it'll be so Miami Dolphins. You're so right, Big O. We are at a threshold. The first INT or TD will save or break Tua's confidence. I don't think it's about his confidence. I don't think his confidence has waned. I think his confidence has waned on the team, on the confidence of the people in front of him. That maybe, but I don't think in himself. This is a pretty tough kid, man, overall. We're just a very young team. The win now concept is a pipe dream. Art Zimmerman, you, sir, are probably 1,000% right. But you know how it is. We don't want to face reality. Steven Caparella says we need Tua to be a star. That's what I'm hoping for. Oh, NI was Noah Igbenogamy. Okay, I got you now. Just put Iggy. Mauricio Bautista says, I think Tua is a victim of success. If that makes sense, the Dolphins winning these games last year and benching Fitz puts more pressure on him and the team to succeed now. You know what, Mauricio? I think there's an element of that to it. I can see that. Richard Belmar says, do you think Greer and Flores outsmarted themselves in picking up linebackers the past 2 years and then releasing them? No. I don't think so. I don't think that Van Noy was going to be the answer at anything anyway. I don't think that, dude, I think the bigger problem was they outsmarted themselves with the O-line. That's where they screwed the pooch. I got to be honest. I love Greer. I love Flo. I'm rooting for both of them. I don't want them fired. I don't want to make any changes whatsoever. But I also know they're human beings, and they're not going to make every right decision. And I wish they would, but that's not reality. And the reality is they thought they got a little cute. I love that they invested all the picks in the line. That's fine. Eventually, you're going to hit on some of them. I'm good with that. But you should have had more leadership in there. And they failed miserably. And they created a line that puts the quarterback at risk on every down. And you can't have that. It just can't be the case. I'm watching Aaron Rodgers drive down the field, and he's got no pressure. I'm watching Jimmy Garoppolo make decisions, no pressure. I'm watching Justin Herbert make decisions, no pressure. I'm watching Pat Mahomes make decisions, no pressure. Meanwhile, the Dolphins, you're running for your life on every down. So while there are offensive line issues around the league, they have bigger problems here in Miami. And they failed. They should have added more veteran talent to this team, to this line, and they failed. There's no other way I can phrase it. I can't make excuses for it. They got cute. And you think about this, here's where it becomes, do you know how you compound a decision, you make it even worse? So Flo obviously decided with Greer that, all right, we're going to go really young on the O-line. But we're not going to get older linemen to help out in the transition, like established, like really good ones, not over the hill, not a DJ Fluker that's at the end of his career and he's trying to squeeze out one more season. No. You had a shot at actually putting together a good line and you failed. And you went young instead. You then compound the problem when you have a quarterback that doesn't have a lot of experience. And so you needed veteran linemen to guide your young linemen. You needed veteran linemen to protect your young quarterback. And here's the best part of it, where Flo was the ultimate screw up in all of this. You did this without an established offensive line coach. Let that marinate. Sit down and think about that. If you had a stud offensive line coach, a guy that has, molded tons of linemen like Scarnecchia with New England, then I get it. All right, no, we got a great offensive line coach. He'll figure it out. Dude, you're on your 87th offensive line coach in 3 years. So you're going to ask the guy that's there now to inherit this and make it good. Come on, man. That's a poor decision by Flo. Think about that. You wanted to give young linemen to protect a young quarterback, no veterans, and then you wanted to give it to a offensive line coach that isn't a stud. It's a really bad decision by Flo. Really, really bad. You thought too highly of yourself and your staff to think that you were going to be the ultimate difference makers for that line. Really bad move. Okay? You're not going to get that anywhere, by the way. No one's going to break it down like that. No one's going to give you that angle. They're not even going to think about it. And if they do, it's because they heard it here now. But just think about that. So you thought you were going to have a great line or a really good one or one that would protect your quarterback with no experience on the line and no experience as a offensive line coach. Because they got a guy that's got experience, but he's not a stud. He's not considered, he's too young to be considered one of the best ever. That's what I mean. If you had an offensive line coach that's considered one of the best ever, okay. I get it. You don't even have that. It's terrible. Terrible decision by Flo. And I love Flo. I'm not here to tell you that, but Flo's a new coach, and he's not going to hire the perfect staff right off the bat. And this is part of it. I can't blame Tua getting injured. His fractured ribs means he got crushed. That's fault on the O-line. And if he gets crushed again and injured, it's probably going to be the O-line to blame again. Well, Christopher, who do you blame now? After what I told you, who do you blame? Who should you blame? Should you blame the offensive line? Should you blame the offensive line coach? Or should you blame the head coach? Ask yourself that now. Don't blame the people that aren't qualified. Don't blame the people that haven't been trained properly. Don't blame the guy that is supposed to get them in shape or trained properly, who is also unproven himself, not considered a great O-line coach. So who do you blame? You blame Flo. Don't blame the offensive line coach, and don't blame the players. They've been put in a position to fail by Flo. Nobody else. Flo has to take all the responsibilities for the failures of the offensive line. He's the one that continues to change the offensive line coach. He's the one that failed to have foresight about what's happened with the offensive line. None of that happens without his okay. Chris Greer did not shove this idea down his throat. He chose to hire the coach he has. He chose to have all the youth on the line. How you thought that was going to work? You thought a little too high of yourself, is what you did. But it's kind of part of the game. Going to make mistakes. There's a mistake for Flo. Lucy pulling the football year after year. Ice flip. That was good. That was good. Speaking of that, Belichick needs to find his Tom Brady. Got a feeling that it's going to be pain coming for a long time. That sound I heard on the Red Zone channel yesterday was a Patriots fan booing. I disagree, dude. All the pundits told us that Mac Jones is the second coming. Didn't they say that Mac Jones is awesome and that Zach Wilson will be a beast, right? I don't know, man. I disagree with you on that. Everybody else says that they're going to be awesome. So he is the next Tom Brady, right? I think that's what they said about Mac Jones. He looks like Tom Brady. He plays like Tom Brady. He makes decisions like Tom Brady. It's funny. Save those articles. A couple years from now, if Mac Jones doesn't make it, then we can take out all those articles of all those people that wrote, oh, no, Mac Jones is the second coming. He is Tom Brady. That was funny. Really funny. Oh, Lordy. St. Michael says, we had plenty of opportunities to sign good free agent offensive linemen. We passed on them and decided to build through the draft. We failed miserably. Now, the build through the draft thing, some of them may work out, but it's going to take a few years to develop them. That's just the way it goes. You can't blame Flo. He's doing a wonderful job with this young team. In 3 weeks, you will call this a great move to go young. Freshman, I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. God, I hope you're... Well, actually, no. It's already a wrong statement because you got your quarterback injured. So you failed. Now, if in 3 weeks they get better, the situation will improve, but you screwed the pooch already by injuring your quarterback. So, no, they failed already. Bottom line, you're supposed to create something that protects your quarterback. They failed. So if you got your guy injured, there you go. Yep, save the articles. I'm telling you. Save those. Mac Jones is the second coming. He looks like Tom Brady. Randy Freeman says, coaching only goes so far when Austin Jackson and running back double team Max Crosby and still gets to the O-line. That's a talent thing. Yeah. 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 He reached over. he bull rush Austin and the running back, dude. Right into the quarterback. That was terrible. Hey, what do you think Flo and Greer are saying to Ross at the weekly meetings? Calm down. Everything's fine. There's nothing to be alarmed about. You're Kevin Bacon in what's that called? Animal House. Let me see. And let me find Kevin Bacon Animal House for you guys and just play, because some of you are young, so you have no idea what I'm saying. Let me see here. Where do we have there we go.
Remain calm. All is well.
Here's Flo. Here's Flo and Greer. There you go. Flo and Greer. Let me do it again for you guys.
Remain calm. All is well. All is well. Remain.
There you go. All right. You guys good? There you go. That's Flo and Greer right now with Ross. All is well. Remain calm. Meanwhile, Ross rushes out of the office, and that's Flo and Greer on the floor right there. Yeah. Let's see. What else do we have here? In today's NFL, you can rebuild a franchise in 1 year. Here we are in year 3. Same crap, different year. You better be patient. My son hasn't seen a playoff team in 13 years. ACC, who rebuilt their team entirely in 1 year? I mean, since it's done all the time, right? Who rebuilt their team entirely in 1 year? Okay. They didn't have a quarterback. They didn't have anything. And they got everything in 1 year. Who was that? I must have missed it. Who was it? I'm trying, I've been around football a long, long time. I'm 54. I'm about to be 55 in 4 days. October 1st will be my birthday. I've seen a lot of football in my life. Who's the team that turned it around in 1 year? Huh? Who? The Mighty Ducks. Tampa Bay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They turned it around. I'll never hear from the guy again now. He'll never answer because, there's no answer. Yeah, teams turning around in 1 year all the time. Oh, Lordy. Watson is the Deshaun Watson in the solution, or is the solution? Oh, the Hoosiers. Yeah, you're right. Hoosiers did turn it around. Bad news Bears. They got Tatum O'Neal to pitch. They got Kelly Leak to hit. And then Walter Matthau, of course, was the difference maker. Beer and all. The Bad News Bears also did it. That's a pretty good one there with the Mighty Ducks. Big O talking straight facts. I don't know about straight facts, but damn. Damn, Big. I'll be 55 in October 31st. Nice, Vlad. You were born on Halloween. Did they put on a costume when you were born? Like they spanked your ass, you started crying. All right, he's alive, he's good, he's healthy. Put on a costume. I'm just wondering. We should have drafted Johnny Manziel. The boost in the economy for South Beach would have been awesome. I mean, seriously. They would have had to hire or actually load up. I'm sorry, not hire. They would have to have loaded up on 3 times the amount of liquor in South Beach if they would have drafted Johnny Manziel. Productive. Would have made a lot of money for South Beach. Scotty TYB says, we had a chance at Corey Linsley, Joe Tunney, Rodney Hudson. Oh, the pain. You're right. They should have gotten some established offensive linemen, and they failed. Scotty, can't argue with that one, my brother. It's a good point on your part. Herbert is looking like a promising superstar. RQB has not looked good. Yes, Felix. You are correct, sir. Herbert's looking good, and Tua's not. You're right. Minnesota Twins from worst to first beat another worst in the second and Atlanta Braves. That's nice, Ronnie. Do you have the facts or not? Did they add the whole team also, or was most of the team already there? It's like, I know the other guy said Tampa was joking, but like Tampa had a hell of a defense already. They were a top 10 defense the second half of that season while Winston was throwing the season away. The defense was playing its ass off. And they had Mike Evans and they had Chris Godwin and, they had some decent offensive linemen already. They didn't need much. And they had the coach. They added Brady and Gronk and Antonio Brown, and the rest is history. But they had most of that team already. There's no rebuilding there, That's why I love what, CC said. I love the fan that pulls something completely out of his or her ass, no substance whatsoever. But, the teams rebuild in 1 year all the time. Of course. Come on. It's normal. And then when you ask, they're like, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they don't build it all the time in 1 year. How about never? And Vlad, you were born in 1966 also. Nice. So you're not a Libra, but you're in the same month with me. I don't know what's the sign that comes after Libra. Right, because it ends around the 22nd, right, every month. It's from the 22nd to the 22nd or something like that, I believe. Big O, is it me? Or have we been playing way too much zone this year on D and not enough zero coverage blitz like last year? Why so safe? I guess it all depends on who you're facing. Maybe that's why they've done that. But there's been a little bit of both. You see, they switch up from man and zone all the time. Clarence Collins, thank you, sir. Appreciate you giving us a little love on the super chat. By the way, let me make sure. Remember, you can reach out to us by Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show on Cash App or Venmo. And Andrea Luke, thank you for giving us a little love on Venmo. Very nice of you. Appreciate that. Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. Thank you, all of you out there, as always, taking care of us. Steely Dan, by the way, just postponed their Fillmore dates. So no Steely Dan. Don't forget, tomorrow, Dudley Durong and myself will have a new episode. It'll drop in the morning. We will break it all down for you in only the way that he and I can do it, of course. So we will have some fun today on it, talking about our misery. Within Nail 66. Oh, what's the name of the CBD gummies you take? Should be a sponsor of your show. Let me do me a favor. Give me a second here, and I'll show you.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Canesware at Miami Fanware in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at canesware.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Canesware, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
This is the Big O Show.
There's many ways to support our program, from subscribing and liking the show to visiting our terrific sponsors. Another way is using Cash App. If you would like to donate to the show and help us grow, download Cash App and search Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We appreciate your support as we continue to build the best sports show on the planet for South Florida sports fans. Support the Big O Show by using Cash App and donate to Cash Big O Show. Thank you for your incredibly loyal support.
This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
All righty, I am back. So it's called Singies, established in 72, and these are the gummies. Wait a minute, there we go. It's got to focus, man. It's not focusing. What the hell's going on? Anyways, Singies. And these are relaxing CBD gummies. I take one per night. As you can see, I'm taking them. And then this is the CBD oil that I take also. And oh man, it sucks. I can't focus it and you can't read it the way you should be able to read it. No, it doesn't get in focus. Anyways, premium CBD. And a full spectrum hemp and organic lemon flavor dietary supplement. So I take a little bit of this every day, and let me tell you, I was tired last night, so it was easy for me to sleep, but these bastards are actually helping me sleep deeper now. And, the first couple of days I was like, maybe this is just something my body will adjust and I'll go back to, being the dude that can't go to sleep every stinking night with my issues, obviously. And then this thing puts me into these deep sleeps at time, which is really cool, in blocks. Cause I don't have it like where I'm sleeping like 8 hours straight through. That doesn't happen, but I do go for a few hours in blocks, and they're deep, and it's cool because I actually feel refreshed when I wake up. I feel less tired. I mean, listen, man, when you're in my age, you're going to feel tired no matter what because you've been working your whole life. So it is what it is. But these actually work really, really well. So, yes, they should be a sponsor. Now that it works, now that I know, because as you all know, I will not sponsor something, or they cannot be my sponsor if I don't actually try it. You know what I mean? And, kind of like Throw Miami right here. I went this weekend to go check it out because it's such a cool thing. I went, I saw it first, and then I said, you know what? I got to come back with the wife to go do it because it's a really cool thing. And we did it on Saturday. And that way you guys can always trust me that I'm going to take stuff. I'm going to do whatever is sponsored, which I hopefully get them as a sponsor. I should talk to them about it. But yeah. Oh, do you still put the CBD under your eyes? No, I don't, actually. I don't. I ran out of that stuff. And boy, do I need it. I need it badly. I do need some stuff I can never take this out, man. No matter how much water I drink or if I rest or whatever, I always have my Samsonites with me, man. I carry this shit like luggage, bro. It's really amazing. October 4th is my B-Day. Great minds think alike. Love you, Big O. You the man. Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate you. Thank you all out there. And remember, please smash the hell out of the like button. It is very important that you do that. Vlad says, got 4 kids, all born in Florida. Wow, they're like me, real Floridians. Hard to find us real Floridians. I was born in Belle Glade, Florida, the northwestern tip of Palm Beach County. Big O, should we be concerned with the OCs? Not yet, man. Not yet. Let me ask you something again, because I guess you didn't hear the conversation with. So if the OCs are so bad, how come they ran the ball yesterday? Right? I mean, you can't say the OCs are bad and they ran for 100 and something yards, 133 yards. Gaskin was 13 of 65. That's a lot of yards, my man. That's 5 yards a carry. 7 for 31 for Brown. And then Brissett got 7 for 37. They ran at a really, really good clip. So I'm sorry. So you only have a problem with the passing coordinator, not the running coordinator? Because you said the OCs. Yeah, it's kind of funny. And I've gotten this comment from a whole bunch of people. Oh, the OCs, the OCs. Meanwhile, wait a minute. They ran the ball. I'm sorry. I must have missed this. So how bad are the OCs? Or is it just OC now? What I think is a lot of us need to stop overreacting on such a short amount of time. And not a lot of proof is what we need. Big O, 2 plays cost us the game. Missed field goal and dumb safety. Well, the safety was all on the quarterback. That wasn't on the OC. The OC is not going to call that play. And definitely not run it the way Brissett did it. Oh, my Lord. Michael Young says, Big O, my kids are 3rd-generation Miamians. Wow, that is solid. How about that? My daughter, obviously, 2nd generation. But, yeah, that's very cool. You know how weird we are? We are weirdos, man. Real Floridians. We are weird. We are the minority in a state filled with minorities. Mr. Ballgame says they just have to find an identity, which is what they will figure out through the first 6 weeks. I hope so, man. I hope so, Mr. Ballgame. They need it. Irving Figueroa says, I was born and raised in Miami, Florida. Parents from Puerto Rico, but have lived in Miami since they were teenagers. I'm a Floridian through and through. There we go. Darren Lee says, it's all about the food you put in your body. Well, Darren, I suck. I'm terrible, bro. So irresponsible. I probably need tips from you. And no, I probably just need your discipline, Darren, because I have none. Big O, come on, man. Look at all the piss-poor Waddle play calls. Is it Waddle or is it that they don't trust the quarterback? So that's why they're calling it so conservative. Ronald Devereaux, thank you, sir. A little love on the super chat. Love the show. This team, well, will be okay. Most Dolphins fans don't have patience. If the O-line can keep playing like the Raiders game, Tua should be okay. I hope so, man. I hope so. Daniel says, bags under your eyes is just tissue and also a big sign of someone who has allergies. But I don't. I don't really have allergies. I don't have any reactions to anything, actually. So I don't know why it would be allergies, my man. Unless it's an allergy that I have that I don't know I have. I'm not sure. Listen, man, I'm not smart enough. I haven't been able to figure it out myself. But I know this, even when I've gone on a streak for couple weeks where I slept a lot, they don't go away. They stay there. They're like etched in stone or something. I don't know what it is, man. The bottom line, according to Carlos, says, I cannot put any real stock on this team. It's impossible to tell what they are. Are they good, bad? I just don't damn know. Shaking my effing head again. I'm so sorry, man. Brissett says, missed field goals happen. You live and die with it. However, the safety is inexcusable. Call a quick slant, a fastball to Waddle where he can get 3 to 4 yards, not a screen where he's catching it in the end zone. No, it was terrible. It was terrible. And it was one he shouldn't have thrown. Big O is the original Florida man. Probably. Troy says, I'm a New Yorker, Floridian living in Oregon. You're hanging out with Mario. Big O, I hate when our players suck with us, then go to another team and ball out. Schemes are very important. That's true. That is very true. The throw was dumb. That it was, my man. That it was. It was very dumb. All right, let me do this. Hour number 3 is over. Let's take a really quick break here. Let's wrap up hour number 3, and we'll start hour number 4. If you want to get in, send in the text line 855-912-1056. Email BigORadioShow@yahoo.com. DMs on Twitter at Big O Show, or you can post something on Twitter if you got a question. I got my Twitter page up right there. I can read it. Remember, you want to make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. And I'm still looking for that salesperson or two, but I am looking for a salesperson to join our show that has experience in radio and TV sales. So if you do, contact me through DM, contact me through the email, contact me through the text line. Many ways that you can contact the show. Back with hour number 4.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, aka the Big O, he covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Spotty Pablo in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, we go. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Canesware at Miami Fanware in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Canesware, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com.
All right, we're back. Hour number 3 here on the program. Always appreciate all of you out there for keeping it locked. Last night, by the way, Justin Tucker hit a 66-yard field goal for the win as the Ravens defeated the Lions 19-17. Hey, Dan Campbell, man, big difference, huh? He's 0-3. Packers defeat the Niners as Rodgers puts them in field goal position at the end. Garoppolo did a nice job to give them the lead, but Packers end up winning 30-28. The Miami Heat season is technically underway since they're having media day today. And I got to tell you something, we need some good stuff happening, right? The Heat buzz is a good thing to have in town right now because we don't know how this football thing is going to end up. I know how it's going to end up with the Canes because they are what they are. They're just a mediocre bunch. And, you know, it's like if anybody thinks that the Canes are all of a sudden going to turn it around and win all their games in the ACC, you know, it's funny, but you know, whatever. So Canes are a disaster. We don't know where the Dolphins are going, but I will say this. We get the Panthers back and we get the Heat back, and that is going to be awesome because those are the best teams right now in town. The Panthers are the best team in town, and now you've got also, you know, the Heat coming back with everything that they added in the offseason, which should make them incredibly competitive in this Eastern Conference overall, because they can play defense. If they can keep these old guys healthy, they'll be all right. Big O, how come Coleman isn't playing up to par? He hadn't had a great start to the year yet. Also, what do you think about Fuller's first game back? Fuller did a good job overall. We can't complain about Fuller. As for Justin Coleman, I haven't seen anything that's impressed me about that guy. I'm still trying to figure out why they signed him. Okay? Because since the season started, I can't say I'm impressed. I can't. Face it, the Heat are going nowhere. LOL. Well, they're not going to win the title. But I'll say this. They're probably going to go deeper into the playoffs than any of our football teams. I love my Dolphins, but the Heat are a better team right now than the Dolphins. So the Heat and the Panthers are going to have more success in the postseason than the football teams. Big O, I'm not a Trump supporter. The audit is targeting people on lower levels out here. Stop judging someone you don't know. Okay, that's fine. You can spin it however you want, my man. I don't care what you think they're attacking. What the hell is that number? Holy crap. They can call you from anywhere to sell you a car warranty. Holy moly. That was an international weird-ass number. Let's see. And the guys on the O-line are young and inexperienced, and they need time to gel. Too early to write them off. I agree with you, Irving. I've been saying that myself, my man. Pete Manos says, second generation Greek Miamian. Dad went to Gables. I ended up playing for American Heritage. Diehard Dolphins fan. Let's get it together, fish. Allergies have levels of sensitivity, and in a case-by-case basis, you could be allergic to something you don't know because your body isn't as sensitive to it as is for the next person. So what you're saying is my reaction is this to something in the house, in my life, something I'm eating. Is that what you're saying? I don't know. I don't know enough. I didn't even sleep at a Holiday Inn, so I'm not sure. Big O, I'm new to the Dolphins Nation, and I'm loving every bit of it. Any advice on new Dolphin fans? I listen to you every morning on my way to work. Rome and Penny. Thank you, Rome and Penny. I appreciate you for listening. Patience, my brother. Patience. Don't overreact. Make sure you actually have seen something for a while before you actually make a determination on it. Because we have, I think, too many Dolph fans that have quit on everything. Quit on Tua, quit on the O-line, quit on the front office, quit on the coaching staff, quit on the coordinators, and I think they're doing it a little too soon. Okay? That's what I would tell you. Being a part of the Dolphin Nation, don't get caught up in the toxicity, is that how it's pronounced, of the situation also. Kind of like crypto. There is a lot of times some FUD going on in the crypto world, and people fall for the FUD. Okay? And you would like for them not to fall for the FUD. But they do end up falling for the FUD, and they end up losing money and selling their crypto too early, and they sell it for less than they bought it, and that's because they panic. So no panicking. Stay strong, my brother. All right? We'll try to keep you level-headed here. Now, I'll admit, I'm far from perfect. I'm going to make my share of mistakes like everybody else is. I'm not going to read things perfectly and tell you you're going to hit on this, you're going to miss on this, and that's exactly how it's going to happen. But I'll try to keep you as level-headed as possible. By the way, we were 7-10 against the spread over the weekend. We went 3-2. I'm sorry, 7-10 leading into the weekend. We went 3-2 on the weekend. We are now 10-12 against the spread. So we improved a little bit there, and we're just 2 games under 500. We took Arizona minus 7.5 against the Jags. They won 31-19. We took Tennessee defeating Indianapolis. Tennessee minus 5.5. They beat them 25-16. We took the Bills minus 7 against Washington. They won 43-21. We took Tampa Bay minus 1 against the Rams. Rams won 34-24, so we lost. We took Seattle minus 1, and Minnesota kicked their ass 30-17, so we lost. We are 3-2 today, or shall I say tonight. Dallas is favored by 3.5 versus the Eagles. The over and under is 51.5. Eagles plus 150. Cowboys minus 180. I am staying away from this game. I can't trust Dallas. Dallas could win by 3.5, but Jalen Hurts, he might be the real deal. A guy that I didn't believe in might end up being the real deal. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not supposed to say that, right? Didn't that guy in the first hour say that I never admit when I'm wrong? Which I do it all the time, but that's all right. You can spin it however you want, but I'm not a Jalen Hurts guy. I am not a Jalen Hurts believer. And he might be proving me and others wrong. We shall see. We shall see. But don't tell the guy that sent that text in earlier, don't tell him that I said I wasn't a Jalen Hurts fan. Or not fan, a believer. I mean, whether I'm not here to like or hate the guy, it's impossible actually to dislike Jalen Hurts. Such a classy kid, but not a believer in the kid. But don't tell that guy, I don't know who his name is, and I don't even know, when he said it or whatever. I won't even remember anyways by tomorrow. But just don't tell that guy. Okay, don't go back on the chat board and don't go tell him anything like that, because we need him to maintain whatever he wants to believe in. Okay? Whatever. Let him believe it. Tua will be a special QB. It will take time and patience for him to reach his ceiling. I hope so. I hope so. Felix says, Tua's my favorite player. Don't know if it's the scheme, the line, or Tua. Very hard to be positive. I want Tua to succeed so bad. I think a lot of us do, man. A lot of us do. Must be easy to rag on fans when they can't respond back in time. Plenty of fans out there try to constant excuses for this franchise. The problem is when we roll over the 20 years on these guys. It's not, these guys started 2 years ago. This is their 3rd year. I can't blame them for what happened 5 years ago, 7, 10, 15, 20, 25. I can't blame them. And it's not fair. But the problem is we're carrying the frustrations of the last 25 years and we're laying it all on them. And that part is unfair. That's what I would tell you. That part is unfair. And that's where I don't appreciate it. Because it's tough enough what they're trying to do for them to have to also carry the burdens of the past. Come on, dude. Give me a break. That's rough. And we do that so often. Let's see. Marlins, by the way, have lost 5 in a row. They got swept by the Rays. They're off today. Tuesday, they start with the Mutts, a 4-game set, then a 3-game set with Philly, and season is finished. They have lost 91 games, so they're probably going to go into the 95, 96 range easy, and they're going to end up close to 100 games this year. Not something that they wanted, I'm sure. They need to turn a serious corner next year. defeated Central Connecticut 69-0. They got Virginia on Thursday, and they're favored by 3.5 in that one. What else do we have? Oh, as for young quarterbacks, Mac Jones, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, 30 of 51, 270 yards. Jets are now 0-3. Zach Wilson, 19 of 35, 160 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Justin Herbert, 26 of 38, 281 yards, and 4 touchdowns in a win over KC. Bills win. They dominate, and Josh Allen, 32 of 43, 354 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So these are some of the quarterbacks that are tied to the Dolphins or the division, quarterbacks that we're constantly looking at and talking about and comparing to, which, except for Josh Allen, but in the Justin Herbert case, in the Zach Wilson case, in the Mac Jones case, just like Tua, the book has not been written on those guys yet. We're starting to write that book now on those guys. We got to give it some time, and we're going to really find out who they are with time, with situations, things like that. And Herbert had one of those situations that I talked about with you guys that I got to see him start winning against, real teams, good teams. He did that yesterday. Had a little help. Obviously, Kansas City, very sloppy, but he took advantage, and he got the win. So this is what we're tracking. This is what we're comparing to, and this is what we're, desperately grabbing onto in our measurements right now. In some good news, Andy Reid was released from the hospital today, and he's expected to be back at work on Monday or Tuesday. So nice to hear that Andy Reid is fine. For those of you that don't know, he did not feel well after the game, so they took him to the hospital for precautionary reasons, and it looks like everything's been fine. I mean, these guys are overworked, stressed out. And believe it or not, Andy Reid is probably a little bit more stressed out because his team is not playing good football. They haven't played good football in a while. How crazy is that? They made a run to the Super Bowl, and they didn't play well all year, pretty much, last year. And again, this year, they're 1-2, and they're playing sloppy football. They have lived off of their Super Bowl and their talent, and they have not played really at the level that they're supposed to play at. They can be had, let's put it that way, Kansas City. I mean, if they don't want to be Seattle, they better figure it out because they're on the brink of becoming Seattle. That window closes on you before you know it. Even with Mahomes, that window closes on you. Look at Aaron Rodgers. You had Aaron Rodgers and you got 1 title. You had the Legion of Boom and you had Russell and you got 1 title. Kansas City better be careful. See, that's where I admire Tampa. Tampa has come back from their title run and they are focused, man. I give them credit. Now, I think they'll maintain it because I think Tom Brady also knows that at his age, he can't just say, oh, well, we'll get him next year. He doesn't know really, even though he can tell you he's going to play next year and he looks like he can play for 3 more years, we really don't know because the bottom falls out on players within an off season, sometimes a couple of weeks, whatever. We watched Drew Brees get old in front of our eyes with a quickness from one year to another. Big Ben, last year looked like he was cooked. We'll see if he can come back this year, but he looked like he was done last year. And I know he lost weight and all that, but I don't think that saves your arm. We'll see. And Kansas City is that team that is staring Seattle in the face. And it'll be, I mean, listen, we kind of say it now. I know he left, but if you keep LeBron, you kind of needed to win more than 2 titles. 2 and 4 is not bad. You probably should have won the Dallas one, should have won 3. But if you would have kept LeBron and maybe you still can add another title or 2, then it would have looked pretty good. But, you know, the people look at the Heat and they say they should have won more. Same thing with Seattle. You should have won more. And Kansas City's effing around, and they could be that other team like Seattle that ends up underachieving and never winning, you know, as much as they should. And if Tampa goes out and wins it again this year, wow. That's some bitch, man. That Tom Brady can get people focused, man. Impressive. Tua was a miss. I like him. Good kid. Too small, too fragile. Let's not take years to realize this. It will end up like Pat White. Rip off the Band-Aid. Look at our 3 first-rounders and Jackson and Igbenogany. Yeah, I've I've read that one and heard that one 87 times in the last 2 days. I got it. There's a bunch of you that have given up on all 3 first-round picks. They're all going to be busts. Big O, Steve from the Sun Sentinel says, Big O, you sound bad when you say the book hasn't been written in Justin Herbert. The talent translated into the NFL stardom. The question has been answered, period. 37 TDs, 13 picks. Enough, my good man. Well, that's fine. Enough for you. Not enough for me. That's fine. When I see him winning a bunch of these big-time games and getting into the playoffs and winning in big moments, then I will say the kid has arrived. Yesterday was that first step that I start seeing it against the Kansas City team. That was his first quality win of his career. Those are the facts. I can't deny that, and you can't either. Go look at all his wins. They were all against bad teams. So yesterday was his first quality win of his career. I need to see a little bit more. Just like I'm not quick on quitting on Tua, or I didn't even believe in Mac Jones, but I'm not going to quit on the kid right now. I mean, he's a Patriot, so I hope he doesn't make it. But my point is, I can't say that I'm right on Mac Jones. I saw RG3 light up the world, and then it was over. I've watched guys actually have success and then fall back. You know, Jared Goff had a lot of success early on in his career. Product of the system, everything that went on. You find out more about Jared Goff. Carson Wentz had a ton of success. He was awesome. Then he started suffering injuries, and that shell was broken, and I've never seen the confidence again. I haven't seen adversity yet for Justin Herbert. Hey, look, man, he looks the part. He puts up great numbers. I got all that. That's fantastic. Hey, listen, if some of you think Ryan Tannehill arrived, that's up to you. You can also do the stat thing too, Steve, for that. And when Derrick Henry doesn't rush the ball, Ryan Tannehill goes right into a shell and can never bail you out. But some of you think Ryan Tannehill arrived. I mean, all depends on what you think arrived is. Just putting up stats? No, that's not arrived. So I guess I'm going to sound bad and look bad until I feel that he's actually proven it to me. I have a much different standard than that. Just a couple of fantasy numbers, that doesn't make me convinced that a quarterback has arrived. And so far, That's what I'm seeing, fantasy numbers. I need to see it when it actually matters. But hey, listen, man, Ryan Tannehill's numbers are the same thing. You can have them all you want. I get it. You can win with Ryan Tannehill when you have a absolutely dominant team. Carson Wentz is the closest to D Rose of the NBA. He was a superstar before injuries piled on. You're right. All of them have in common the big money thing, and then the rest of the team is mostly mediocre at other positions. Tom Brady was smart to take discounts to help prevent watered down teams. Yeah, but he also was married to a woman that makes $100 million. So you kind of can do that and take less money because, hell, my wife makes way more than I do every year. Yeah, I'll take, instead of the 25, I'll take 12. And yeah, use that money to improve other players. My wife made $147 million last year. I think we're doing all right. I mean, that's also the luxury that Tom Brady had. Most men aren't married to a woman that makes 8 times what they make every year or 10. Most guys are the providers. So in order to provide, you need to make the 25, 35, 40, $50 million that they can pay you. Whatever the max is, you need to tell them to pay you that. Oh, and that's the other thing. Not only that, but while in New England, his ass couldn't really go out and do all the commercials he's doing now. Now he's in Tampa, and he's comedy shows with Gronk every week on social media. He's doing commercials all over the place. He's joking around. I mean, he's a completely different person now. We actually get to see Tom Brady's personality now instead of being an effing robot in New England. So different scenario for Tom Brady. Absolutely different. She may make 100 plus million, but I bet she doesn't cook and clean. What does that mean, dude? And who cares? She makes 100 million, dude. Plus, she can buy 800 cooks and she can have people clean. She's smoking hot. Hopefully she cooks in bed and she brings home the bread. I don't know. Yeah, a guy named Scummy comes up with that argument. Let's see. Let me wait a minute. She makes 100 million. She's hot. But she doesn't cook and clean. Yeah, no. Let me have the woman that's broke, but she cooks and cleans. Dude, you could have married this woman. She's smoking hot. She makes 100 million. Yeah, but dude, she doesn't cook and clean. I want my wife cooking and cleaning. Meanwhile, the rest of us, we want to be banging our wife, right? Our smoking hot model wife, and let somebody else cook and clean. We got 18 bedrooms, right? You figure you have sex in one, move over to another bedroom, let them clean it up. I love that. She doesn't cook or clean. No, but she's smoking hot. She produces 100 million plus a year, and she's hot stuff in bed. Yeah. Where do you want to cook? In bed or in the kitchen? Which one? You guys are a trip, dude. And out of all people, some guy named Scummy comes up with that comment. Steven says Giselle worth $400 million. Scotty goes, what the F? Do you cook for Brady anyway? No. You have a chef for Brady. You know, you gotta have a chef that is making that kind of food that has like no fat in it whatsoever. Man of 1,005 volts go, Giselle too skinny though, feed her. Well, he might like skinny girls, bro. We're all different, man. Obviously, I like thickness and some curves for myself, but we're all different human beings. But she is a good-looking woman. So Tom did well for himself. He did well. Even if she doesn't cook and clean, he did well. I recall a great George Carlin quote. Think about how stupid the average person is, and mathematically, half are worse. That's a good one. I like that. Oh, man. I bet Giselle doesn't do the laundry like a good servant should. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am out of here. I appreciate all of you as always. Thank you for keeping it locked here on the show. We'll be back tomorrow. Ira Winderman will join us. Manny Navarro will join us. And I'm sure we'll continue talking about some of the same Dolphin issues. And I'm sure you guys will have everybody fired once again when we return tomorrow. I love you all.
Enjoy Miami in speed and style. Only on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. Take advantage of special September Florida residence rate. Monday through Friday, you can book a tour on the biggest, baddest speedboat tour at 50% off. Must show Florida ID in order to get the discount. Tour special only available during September. Call 305-373-7001. That's 305-373-7001 to reserve your tickets on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures.